Na asalamu alaykum mpenzi mtazamaji popote pale ulipo, ni matumaini yangu kwamba umeshinda vyema. Hujambo na karibu kwenye taarifa hizi za Darubini ya Channel 1, ikiwa ni saa 1 kamili saa za Afrika Mashariki. Natumai unaendelea vyema, sijui hapo ulipo uko hali gani. Sisi hapa jijini Nairobi tunaendelea kukabiliana na kibaridi kikali kinachosababishwa na mvua kubwa inayoendelea kunyesha katika maeneo tofauti ya jiji hili kuu. Mimi naitwa Ahmed Jumabalo, kipenda niite AJB, na Lensa Odingo ndio mwenzangu kwa upande wa lugha ishara. Kwanza vidokezo. Rais William Ruto amewasilisha rasmi mwaniaji wa Kenya Jaji Njoki Ndung'u kwa wadhifa wa majaji wa mahakama ya kimataifa ya ICC. Maafisa kadhaa wa polisi wanusurika kifo baada ya gari lao aina Land Cruiser kusombwa na mafuriko eneo la Silale, kaunti ya Baringo. Na wahudumu wa matatu katika maeneo ya Kasarani, Mwiki na Njiru jijini Nairobi wahimiza maafisa wa usalama kukabiliana na genge la wahalifu kwa jina Kamegera wanalodai linawahangaisha. Naam, shukran sana mtazamaji na karibu. Kenya imemtambulisha rasmi mgombea wake wa nafasi kwenye jopo la majaji wa mahakama ya kimataifa ya uhalifu ICC, huku Rais William Ruto akitafuta uungwaji mkono wa kimataifa kwa jaji wa mahakama ya upeo Njoki Ndung'u. Akizungumza katika ikulu ya Nairobi, rais aliutaja uaniaji huo kuwa msukumo wa kuimarisha haki, uaminifu na uwakilishaji wa Afrika katika haki za kimataifa. Uteuzi huo sasa unaweka msingi wa kampeni ya kidiplomasia kabla uchaguzi wa mahakama hiyo kwa mihula ya mwaka 2027 hadi 2036.
Kenya inaingia kwenye jukwaa la kimataifa la kisheria ikimwasilisha Jaji Njoki Ndung'u kama mgombea wake rasmi wa uchaguzi katika mahakama ya kimataifa ya uhalifu ICC.
By presenting one of our most accomplished and distinguished jurists, the Honorable Lady Justice Susan Njoki Ndung'u.
Rais William Ruto alitumia uzinduzi huo kutoa utetezi mpana wa mahakama ya ICC, akisisitiza kwamba uhalali wake unategemea haki, huru na matumizi sawa ya sheria, licha ya kuwepo kwa ukosoaji wa muda mrefu wa kuonekana kuwa na mapendeleo katika mifumo ya haki ya kimataifa.
I have listened very carefully to the track record of Njoki Ndung'u, and I have carefully also listened to her vision about what she wants to do at the International Criminal Court. And they are persuasive, coherent, and meaningful.
Rais pia alishinikiza kuwepo kwa uwakilishi imara wa Afrika, akisema bara hili lazima likome kuwa mada ya haki za kimataifa na kubuni mwelekeo wake, hasa kwa kuzingatia kwamba kesi nyingi katika mahakama ya ICC zimehusisha mataifa ya Afrika.
Africa, therefore, cannot remain merely the subject of international justice. Africa must help shape international justice. And I believe firmly that the candidature of Lady Justice Njoki Ndung'u is going to achieve this end.
Ugombeaji wa Jaji Ndung'u umeegemezwa katika tajiriba ya miongo kadhaa ya kisheria na kikatiba, kuanzia kuhusika kesi za uhalifu mkubwa hadi kuchangia katika kubuniwa kwa katiba ya Kenya mwaka 2010 na kuhudumu katika mahakama ya upeo.
The judiciary invited expressions of interest from all judges of the superior courts, subjected the applications to rigorous evaluation by the Judicial Service Commission, and transmitted the 3 recommended candidates for consideration by His Excellency the President.
At a very personal level, on behalf of the government of Kenya, you have our endorsement, support, and we are going to campaign for you.
Rekodi yake ya kuendeleza haki ya kijinsia na mageuzi ya kisheria, ikiwa ni pamoja na sheria muhimu kuhusu makosa ya ngono, inatarajiwa kuwa nguzo kuu ya Kenya kwa mataifa wanachama wa mahakama ya ICC.
There are moments when we stand together as a nation, irrespective of all other considerations. This is one such moment.
Kenya sasa inatazamiwa kuyashawishi mataifa wanachama wa mkataba wa Roma kuunga mkono ombi la Ndung'u, katika hatua ambayo huenda ikashuhudia Kenya ikipata kiti cha uwakilishi katika mojawapo ya vyombo vya mahakama vyenye ushawishi mkubwa zaidi duniani. Iwapo atachaguliwa, Jaji Njoki Ndung'u atahudumu muhula wa miaka 9 katika mahakama ya ICC, huku Kenya ikilenga kuimarisha jukumu lake katika kuelekeza haki na uwajibikaji duniani. Ben Chumba, Darubini.
Naam, kila laheri kwa Jaji Njoki Ndung'u katika kuipeperusha na kuiwakilisha bendera ya Kenya ulimwenguni. Na kwengineko, ikulu ya rais ilikuwa imeomba shilingi bilioni 20 kufadhili shughuli zake katika ikulu zote ndogo humu nchini katika mwaka wa kifedha wa mwaka 2026 na 2027. Akiwa mbele ya kamati ya bunge ya usimamizi na usalama wa taifa, msimamizi wa ikulu Katoo Ole Mitito alisema hazina ya kitaifa ilitoa mgao wa shilingi bilioni 13 na hivyo kuna pengo la shilingi bilioni 7. Katika mwaka wa kifedha uliopita, ikulu ya rais ilipata mgao wa shilingi bilioni 17. Msimamizi huyo wa ikulu pia aliitetea gharama ya sasa ya ukarabati wa ikulu ya Nairobi, akisema mabadiliko hayo yalifaa. Katoo pia alifichua mipango ya ukarabati wa ikulu nyingine ndogo katika kila mwaka wa kifedha. Katika mwaka huu wa kifedha, Katoo alisema lengo lao ni kukarabati ikulu ndogo za Mombasa, Eldoret, Kisumu na Nakuru kwa usanjari huo. Katoo pia alisema ikulu imepata tena umiliki wa ardhi ya ekari 100 ambayo ilikuwa imenyakuliwa kwa ujenzi wa ikulu ndogo ya Kakamega.
Affecting State House in the attainment of its performance targets. It goes without saying, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee, that with limited resource allocation and such a big shortfall of 7.2 billion, definitely we will be affected in our deliverables and also in implementation of these programs in terms of our work plan. Now, State House, as now the house you feel proud as Kenyans when you receive presidents, instead of looking at the positives, they look at the cost. How much did it cost to do it? To actually do, transform the facelift. That is Mombasa and Eldoret. The problem we are having is, as I said, they are very old.
Na kundi moja la maafisa wa usalama lililokuwa kwenye shughuli ya kiusalama lilinusurika kifo kwa tundu ya sindano baada ya gari lao aina ya Land Cruiser walimokuwa wakisafiria kusombwa na mafuriko ya ghafla kufuatia mvua kubwa inaonyesha katika wadi ya Silale, eneo bunge la Tiaty, kaunti ya Baringo. Gari hilo lililokuwa likiwasafirisha maafisa wa polisi kwenda kuokoa gari jingine la polisi lililokumbwa na tatizo kama hilo baada ya kukwama kwenye matope katika mto Akuchatis wakati wa operesheni hiyo ya uokoaji. Hata hivyo, magari yote mawili baadaye yaliondolewa kwenye matope. Viongozi wa sehemu hiyo wametoa wito kwa serikali iharakishe ujenzi wa barabara za usalama katika sehemu hiyo ili kuepusha matukio kama hayo.
Land Cruiser ya polisi iliyokuwa ikiwasafirisha maafisa wa polisi ilikuwa hapa na kulazimu kupelekewa kwa gari lingine la polisi kuliokoa. Dakika chache baadaye, kiwango cha maji kiliongezeka na kufunika Land Cruiser hiyo ya polisi na kukatiza juhudi za uokoaji, huku maji hayo yakiwazuia watu na magari kupita. Huku mvua kubwa inaendelea kunyesha ikisababisha uharibifu, viongozi wa sehemu hiyo sasa wanatoa wito wa kukamilishwa kwa ujenzi wa miundo msingi ili kuzuia uharibifu zaidi.
Maji imejaa mpaka imefunika barabara. Hii diversion ya kupita hapo juu mlimani mpaka tukatie lam pale Chepilat, magari imeweza kulala hapo kwa sababu serikali hawajaweza kuweka maram kwa hiyo barabara.
Kama serikali iko na pesa, mbona iwe ni pesa ambayo ni ya kwenda kufanya emergency response? Mbona isiwe pesa ya kutengeneza barabara? sehemu ya Kujati zitengenezwe bridge, sehemu hiyo ya Kambusene iwekwe bridge, sehemu hiyo ya Koreti iwekwe Marab.
Biashara na shughuli za masomo pia zimekatizwa huku wanafunzi wakishindwa kwenda shuleni kwa sababu ya mafuriko.
Ni gharama kubwa kwa mzazi ambaye hata kuweza kununua kalamu na kitabu ni ngumu. Sasa je, mambo ya kuweza kulipa bot kila wakati, kila asubuhi na jioni ni ngumu sana. Magari hayo baadaye yaliondolewa huku viongozi wa sehemu hiyo wakitoa wito wa kujengwa kwa daraja katika sehemu hii. Yusufar, Darubini.
Mtazamaji, taarifa hiyo ya Yusuf Farah inatukamilishia awamu ya kwanza ya Darubini ya Channel 1. Nakuomba usende mbali, nitarejea na taarifa zaidi muda usiokuwa mrefu.
Nairobi, your time is now. Masani ya kutoka vlog na KBC imeamua lazima uomoke. Tutakuwa tunakaa mtaa yako kukuomosha very fast. Jibu maswali zangu 3 tu. Tuone kama kweli wewe ni true fan wa KBC Channel 1. Na ukizipata 25k ni yako. So make sure una watch KBC Channel 1. Alafu kinicheki kwa streets. Niulize kana kuomosha leo. Omoka na KBC Channel 1. Uanga bad ni mbaya.
Na hii ndoto yako ya kuenda kusomea ng'ambo ni kama sasa utaiachana nayo kabisa.
Wewe wacha Pastor Joel ashughulike nayo mpango.
Nilijua tu siku hizi isha kama huyu mtu hajakuja hapa.
Sasa mbona unaenda kinyume na yale tulikuwa tumekubaliana? Umekuja ni kuombee na pia niombee ndoa yako.
Ni kama huu mpango tutaahirisha kwa sasa.
Monica! Ulikuwa umeenda kufanya nini kwa Ufambe? Hakuna mtu atasimama kati yangu na kile kiti. Siku nzuri. Hizi pesa zote lazima tuzijumuishe pamoja tu.
Sasa tutafanyaje juu naona ndo yangu ni kama eti.
Wakati wa vijana ni leo. Kwenda huko. Mambo yako kuisha.
Actions zako hazirechi support kwa Andrew at any particular point.
Huyo mpumbavu Justin ni nani?
Yule kijana yuko sawa, amejipanga. Natamani sana kuona sura ya Andrew.
Wewe ni nani? Hapa nitakula vizuri sana.
Si, wizi.
Naam, shukrani za dhati mtazamaji kwa kuendelea kutazama Darubini. Na vitisho vinavyozidi kuongezeka vya upotoshaji, taarifa za uongo na kutiliwa chuku kwa maudhui ya mtandaoni ni masuala yaliyoangaziwa leo huku kongamano la sekta ya vyombo vya habari Afrika la mwaka 2026 liking'oa nanga jijini Nairobi. Akihutubia wajumbe waliohudhuria hafla hiyo, katibu katika idara ya utangazaji na mawasiliano Stephen Esaboke alisema bara Afrika lazima lipigie jeki haraka iwezekanavyo mifumo ya habari katika hatua ya kulinda demokrasia, imani ya umma na uadilifu katika enzi hizi za sasa za kidijitali.
Mito ya kukabiliana na vitisho vinavyozidi kuibuka vya majukwaa ya kidijitali yasiyothibitiwa ilisheheni wakati wa kikao cha ufunguzi wa kongamano la kila mwaka la sekta ya vyombo vya habari vya Afrika, huku wadau wakitahadharisha kuhusu kufifia kwa imani ya umma na tishio kwa demokrasia kutokana na taarifa za uongo.
Suddenly now we are not, it is in less than 1% of the world are people accessing whether they can access information. It is the integrity of that information that is at stake and that we must reflect about.
Katibu katika idara ya utangazaji Stephen Esaboke aliwaambia wajumbe kuwa mageuzi ya kidijitali yamechangia pakubwa jinsi ya habari zinavyotayarishwa, kusambazwa na kutumiwa. Kwa hivyo ipo haja ya kuwazia upya mbinu za kudhibiti na uwajibikaji.
The future African media ecosystem must therefore reset on 3 pillars. Number 1, trust, safeguarding credibility and public confidence in the information systems.
Katibu Esaboke alikariri kuwa kutokana na upanuzi wa teknolojia, jamii iko kwenye hatari kubwa ya kupotoshwa. Kulingana naye, Wakenya wengi bado hukumbwa na changamoto ya kubainisha wanahabari halisi dhidi ya maudhui yaliyozalishwa na akili unde almaarufu AI.
We really have to choose truth in the midst of all this confusion, especially when there's so much, sometimes deep fakes and all that, and sometimes you have to fact check before you actually authenticate whether what you're reading online is fact or fake.
In Africa, we have witnessed how coordinated disinformation campaign distort public policy debates and public policy in making, scare away investment.
Kongamano hilo linatarajiwa kuendelea hapo kesho. Joseph Wahungu, Darubini.
Na wahudumu wa matatu katika maeneo ya Kasarani, Mwiki na Njiru hapa jijini Nairobi wamewahimiza maafisa wa usalama kukabiliana vilivyo na genge la wahalifu kwa jina Kamegera wanalodai linaohangaisha kwa kukusanya pesa kwa lazima kutoka kwa magari ya uchukuzi wa umma. Vilevile wamedai kwamba maafisa wa polisi wa trafiki wameendelea kuutapeli biashara zao na kuacha wakikadiria hasara.
Video inaonyesha wanachama wa genge la Kamegera wanaohudumu katika maeneo ya Kasarani, Mwiki na Njiru wakikusanya fedha kutoka kwa wahudumu wa matatu.
Nimempata amenaregesha change.
Video hii vilevile inaonyesha utingo wakishauriana na wahudumu wa matatu wakionekana wakiitisha mgao wao baada ya abiria wachache kushuka kutoka kwa matatu husika. Haya ndiyo mahangaiko ambayo wahudumu wengi wa matatu wanaoendesha shughuli za uchukuzi wa umma jijini Nairobi hukumbana nayo.
Serikali tafadhali ikuje ituondolea hawa watu. Sababu wale abiria wanakuweka kwa stages. Kila abiria anajuanga mahali anaenda. Na zile gari zinasuburiwa sana ni za MNK Sacco. Ukishukisha hutabeba.
Katika maeneo ya Kasarani, Mwiki na Njiru, hali hiyo sio tofauti. Wahudumu wa matatu wamelalamikia kuhangaishwa na magenge ambayo yamejiita Kamegera. Magenge hayo hukita kambi katika kila kituo cha basi au matatu ambapo huitisha malipo kutoka kwa huduma wa uchukuzi wa umma.
Kama example, mimi niko na PSV badge, nimeruhusiwa nifanye kazi ya matatu. Bila hii PSV huwezi fanya kazi. Huwezi fanya kazi bila PSV. Mwenye anakupiga ana PSV.
Sasa waadhiriwa wametoa wito kwa serikali kukabiliana na tatizo hilo kikamilifu.
Ile shida tumepitia hapa na hii watu wa Kamegera ni mingi. Wametuzubua sana. Na polisi hawana taarifa. Unadungwa kisu, anasema uchukue OB. Chukua ingine. Kile hapa kuna watu wengi sana wamejaza maOB kwa mfuko.
Inadaiwa kuwa biashara ya matatu inakabiliwa na tatizo la utapeli na polisi watovu wa trafiki. Tulifanikiwa kunakili maafisa kadhaa ambao walionekana wakiitisha mlungula kutoka kwa utingo wa matatu. Mkuu wa kituo cha polisi cha Kasarani Nicholas Kiprono kupitia mahojiano ya simu alithibitisha kuwa tayari wameanzisha msako mkali unaonuia kukabiliana na genge la Kamegera na tatizo la utishaji hongo na maafisa wa trafiki katika hatua ya kurejesha usalama barabarani.
Hiyo siku nafikiri sasa kabla wakamatwe, hiyo wakanyagi hapo. Mmoja tangu tukamate ile ingine wako ndani Ile siku ni wewe ndio ulikuja hapa hiyo siku. Tulipeleka hao na marobari pilipili kila mtu wako ndani.
Giverson Maina, Darubini.
Naam, taarifa hiyo mtazamaji inanikumbusha kisa ambacho nimepatana nacho wikendi hii iliyopita pale maeneo ya Ziwani hapa jijini Nairobi, mkabala na shule ya Starehe upande wa pili. Kuna wale vijana wanauza baiskeli. Nilikuwa nimekwenda pale kununulia watoto wangu baiskeli. Baada ya kumaliza shughuli yangu kurudi ndani ya gari, kijana mmoja akanifuata. Akanilazimisha nimlipe pesa ya kuegesha gari, yani parking fees. Tukasumbuana, sikutoa hata shilingi. Kwa hivyo uhuni ni mwingi jijini Nairobi mtazamaji. Natumai kwamba wanahusika hasa maafisa wa usalama wataweza kukabiliana na magenge kama hayo. Hata hao wanaohangaisha watu kuwalazimisha walipe ada za kuegesha gari ilhali wao wenyewe hawafanyii kazi ya serikali ya kaunti ya Nairobi. Ni uhuni tu huo. Na kwingineko walezi watu wenye mahitaji maalum, watungaji sera na maafisa wa serikali wanakutana jijini Nairobi kwa mazungumzo ya kitaifa ya siku mbili kwa lengo la ujumuishaji wa watu wanaoishi na ulemavu humu nchini. Kikao hicho kinachoendelea katika taasisi ya utayarishaji mitaala ya kimasomo nchini KCD kinanuia kuimarisha utekelezaji sera na kuboresha wito wa watu wanaoishi na ulemavu humu nchini. Aaron Marie na taarifa hiyo.
Shinikizo jipya la Kenya inayojumuisha zaidi linaanza kujitokeza, ambapo wadau kutoka kote nchini wanakutana katika taasisi ya kutayarisha mitaala ya masomo nchini KICD kwa siku 2. Kikao hicho kilifunguliwa rasmi na mgeni wa heshima Michael Munene, ambaye ni afisa mkuu mtendaji wa Baraza la Kitaifa la Watu wenye Mahitaji Maalum.
As Huduma Kenya, we've embraced inclusion as per the Article 10 of the Constitution, where inclusiveness is a requirement.
Jukumu la walezi liliangaziwa kuwa muhimu katika kuwasaidia watu wanaoishi na ulemavu na kutoa wito wa utambuzi na mifumo ya misaada.
And we can never forget our caregivers. They play a very big role in the society to transform the lives of persons with disabilities.
Wawakilishi kutoka kundi la Huduma Kenya walielezea mageuzi ambayo tayari yameanzishwa ili kuwezesha upatikanaji wa huduma za serikali kwa urahisi.
Tomorrow we'll be having the major conference where we'll be launching disability report and also having high level engagement from the national government, county government, various stakeholders, so that we can be able to discuss and synchronize and understand matters of disability.
Kikao hicho kinachohudhuriwa na watu wanaoishi na ulemavu kinatoa nafasi kwa wao kusikilizwa.
Mambo mengi huwa yanapangwa ambayo persons with disability huanga tunakuwa nyuma nayo, hatunanga information. So that's why nimejisacrifice nikuje ndio nisikize.
Walisema kuwa wasiwasi ulioibuliwa wakati wa mazungumzo ya awali ya kitaifa umetatuliwa.
Mwenye alikuwa last year na nikiona this year at least kuna change.
Wajumbe walisema lengo kuu ni kujenga Kenya jumuishi kwa wote,
where we encourage all actors, all development sectors to think of people with disabilities in their work as part of any other person in society.
Aaron Marie, Darubini.
Na wakazi wa kaunti ya Laikipia hii leo walistahimili mvua na kibaridi ili kulainisha rekodi zao na halmashauri ya ukusanyaji ushuru humu nchini KRA. Licha hali hiyo ya hewa, mamia ya walipa kodi waliipata usaidizi kutoka kwa wafanyikazi wa KRA kuwasilisha marejesho yao ya kodi kupitia mpango mpya wa kujihudumia. KRA na mshirika wake wa vyombo vya habari, shirika hili la utangazaji la Kenya KBC, wanaendesha kampeni ya kuhamasisha umma kuhusu ulipaji wa kodi iliyopewa jina la Jijue Jibeta, huku msafara huo ukitua katika maeneo ya Matanya, Ichuga, Baraka, Old Market, Liki na mji wa Nanyuki. Walipa ushuru wametakiwa kujinufaisha na mpango huo wa kujihudumia katika kuwasilisha marejesho yao ya kodi kabla ya kukamilika kwa makataa ya tarehe 30 mwezi Juni. Na kwenye biashara, benki ya Cooperative imejipatia faida ya shilingi bilioni 8.4 katika kipindi cha miezi mitatu ya kwanza ya mwaka huu, ambayo ni nyongeza ya faida ya hadi 21.3. Faida hiyo ilitokana na nyongeza 12.2 ya jumla ya mapato hadi shilingi bilioni 15.98. Kwa habari hii na nyinginezo, ufuatao ni mkusanyiko wa habari za biashara.
Jumla ya mapato ya benki hiyo yaliongezeka kwa 14.3 hadi shilingi bilioni 884.6, hasa kutokana na ongezeko la mikopo iliyotolewa. Hii ni baada ya mikopo iliyotolewa kuongezeka hadi shilingi bilioni 436.8, hii ikiwa ni ukuaji wa 13.6. Licha ya gharama za shughuli kuongezeka kwa 8.4, faida ya benki ya Cooperative iliongezeka hadi shilingi bilioni 11.7 kabla ya kutozwa ushuru. Akiba za wateja pia ziliongezeka kwa 16.6 hadi shilingi bilioni 612.2. Wakati huo huo, Waziri wa Kilimo Mutahi Kagwe amesema masharti ya ushuru unaotozwa majani chai ya mwaka huu yanakusudiwa kulinda utambulisho na ubora wa majani chai ya Kenya katika soko la dunia. Kagwe aliifahamisha kamati ya bunge la kitaifa kuhusu kilimo na ustawishaji mifugo kwamba utekelezaji wa masharti hayo mapya utawezesha kupatikana kwa pesa za urajimishaji wa majani chai ya Kenya na kuyatafutia masoko miongoni mwa kufadhili shughuli zingine kwa lengo la kuimarisha ushindani wa majani ya chai ya Kenya katika soko la kimataifa.
Those countries, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all those countries that trade in tea have all got a levy that they are charging to develop their own markets. So it is one thing to say that Kenya should not charge a levy. Everybody else is charging a levy so that we don't develop our products.
Na hatimaye, huku mjadala kuhusu mahali bora zaidi pa kujenga kiwanda kikubwa cha kusafisha mafuta ukipamba moto, bilionea wa Nigeria Aliko Dangote anasema anapanga kuwekeza shilingi trilioni 2.2 katika sekta ya petroli katika eneo la Afrika Mashariki. Dangote anasema hajaamua kutakako jengwa kiwanda hicho, lakini Kenya ndiyo inayofaa zaidi kwa sababu ya miundo msingi yake. Kiwanda hicho kitakuwa na uwezo wa kusafisha mapipa 1650 ya mafuta ghafi kwa siku.
What we are trying to do is to set up the refinery to serve all the East African countries so that they can become self-sufficient.
Ndutsa Mukami, Darubini.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Alhamisi ya tarehe 14 mwezi Mei tunazuru eneo la Isiolo. Msafara wetu utaanzia katika eneo la Bula Pesa. Kisha tuingie sokoni, Pepo la Tumaini, Soko Mjinga, KPLC, Red Cross, alafu tutapenyeza hadi Burata. Baadaye tutaelekea katika eneo la Ngaremara. Tarehe 30 Juni kwa mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho, file KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress, jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Karibu kwenye habari za michezo, mtazamaji. Naitwa Timothy Kipnusu. Na mwananga taarifa kwamba mshikilizi wa rekodi ya dunia ya mbio za marathoni Sebastian Sawe ameweka wazi kuwa atakuwa anatetea taji ya mwaka huu ya mbio za marathoni za Berlin zitakazoandaliwa tarehe 27 mwezi Septemba mwaka huu, wiki kadhaa baada ya kuweka rekodi ya dunia kwenye mbio hizo na kuwa mwanariadha wa kwanza kushinda mbio hizo chini ya muda wa saa 2. Sawe alidokeza wazi kuwa kwa sasa anaelekeza macho yake kutetea ubingwa huo alioshinda mwaka uliopita, na pia atajitahidi kujitumia naona kama ataweka rekodi mpya ya mbio hizo. Sawe alishinda makala ya mwaka jana kwa muda wa saa 2 dakika 2 na sekunde 16. Tangu kuanza kushiriki mbio hizo, Sawe hajapoteza mashindano yoyote na analenga kuendeleza msururu bora wa matokeo. Sawe alianza taaluma yake ya mbio hizo kwenye mbio za marathoni za Valencia alipoandikisha ushindi wa saa 2 dakika 2 na sekunde 5. Kwingineko, Jeshi Stars ya Tanzania iliweka hai matumaini yake ya kufuzu kwa awamu ya muondoano ya mashindano ya netiboli baina ya vilabu vya Afrika Mashariki baada ya kuishinda timu ya Kenyatta National Hospital point ya 48 kwa 37 katika mojawapo ya michuano ya mashindano hayo inaendelea katika uwanja wa Ulinzi hapa jijini Nairobi. Mashindano hayo kunradhi ya siku 7 yamevileta pamoja jumla ya vilabu 13 kutoka mataifa ya Tanzania, wenyeji Kenya, Uganda na Zanzibar. Tazama.
KNH iliuanza mchuano huo vyema, lakini Jeshi Stars iliongoza alama 12 kwa 11 baada ya robo ya kwanza kukamilika. Jeshi Stars ilithibiti mchuano huo katika robo za pili na tatu, huku ikiongoza kwa alama 7 ilipofikia robo ya 4. Licha ya KNH kuimarisha mchezo wao katika robo ya 4, juhudi zao za kutafuta ushindi ziliambulia patupu, huku akishindwa alama 48 kwa 37. Ushindi huo ambao ulikuwa ni watatu mtawalia unahuisha matumaini ya KNH ya kufuzu kwa hamu ya muondoano.
Hakuna kitu kingine, ni kujituma kwa sababu nilikwambia wakati nilianza hii interview nilikwambia hakuna kitu rahisi hapa. Timu zote zinajituma kivyao. So pia hiyo game tunangoja next na hiyo the other last game pia still ni kujituma kabisa kwa sababu hakuna rahisi.
Next match we are going to pull up. We are going to correct our mistakes and all shall be well.
Jeshi Stars ambayo sasa imeandikisha ushindi wake wa kwanza baada ya kupoteza michuano miwili ya ufunguzi inasalia katika kinyang'anyiro cha kuwania nafasi ya nusu fainali.
Kwanza kabisa tulikuwa tunaanza mchezo wa kwanza, niliangalia wapinzani na mchezo wa pili. Kwa kitu ambacho tumeenda kufanyia mazoezi ni mashuta wangu, nikiza jinsi ya kucheza na madefense wa Kenya ambao ni wazuri, na pamoja na madefense wangu niwaelekeza jinsi ya kukaba mashuta wao. Kwa hiyo ndio tulifanyia mazoezi tukapata ushindi wa leo.
Ushindi huu ni umetupa sisi nguvu ya kuweza kupambana game zilizobaki na kuweza kushinda zaidi ya leo.
Mashindano hayo ya juma moja yatakayokamilika Jumamosi yamezileta pamoja jumla timu 13 ambazo zimegawanywa katika makundi mawili yenye timu 5 na timu 6 mtawalia. Timu zitakazomaliza katika nafasi 2 za mwanzo zitafuzu kwa michuano nusu finali ambayo imepangwa kuandaliwa Ijumaa.
They have top quality here. Uganda, most of their, not even most, all of their team, national team players are in their clubs. So our girls have got a chance to interact and play with them. It's a championship that players are trying to showcase what they have so that their national coaches can see them and at least fit in the national team.
Mashindano haya kina dada yanaandaliwa kwa pamoja na mashindano ya wanaume ambayo yanajumuisha jumla timu 6 zinazochuana kwa mfumo wa ligi. Bana Dokumu, Darubini Michezo.
Haya, timu ya taifa ya raga ya kina dada inaendeleza mazoezi katika uwanja wa Kasarani kabla ya mashindano ya raga ya wanawake ya divisheni yatakayoandaliwa kuanzia tarehe 21 hadi 31 Mei katika uwanja wa RFUA hapa jijini Nairobi. Taarifa hiyo kwa ukamilifu ni mwendo wa saa 3. Ni hayo tu kwenye habari za michezo. Kuna mechi kubwa kwenye ligi kuu ya soka nchini Uingereza baina ya Manchester City itakuwa inapimana nguvu na Crystal Palace. Sijui mwenzangu Balo unasema nini kuhusiana na mechi hiyo? Je, ina umuhimu wowote ikizingatia kwamba Manchester City ina pointi 74 ila hali Crystal Palace ambayo inashikilia nambari ya 15 ina pointi 44?
Naam, shukran sana Kipnusu, na bila shaka mechi hiyo ni muhimu sana siku ya leo. Ina uzito katika kinyang'anyiro cha taji la ligi hii ya soka ya Uingereza. Kumbuka Arsenal amemshinda Manchester City hivi sasa kwa alama 5 na Arsenal amecheza mechi moja zaidi. Kwa hivyo mechi ya leo, iwapo Manchester City ataweza kupunguza pengo lile na kuzisalie alama 2 na zimebakia mechi 2. Iwapo Manchester City atafungwa leo, basi atakiambia kikombe cha English Premier League bye bye. Na Arsenal naona, japokuwa sipendi kusema, naona Arsenal watatawazwa kuwa mabingwa wa msimu huu wa ligi ya Uingereza. Na kufikia hapo mtazamaji, ndio tunatamatisha taarifa hizi za Darubini ya Channel 1. Inshallah Mungu akipenda tukutane hapo kesho. Naitwa Ahmed Jumabalo, ukipenda niite AJB, na Lensa Odingo ndio mwenzangu kwa upande wa lugha ishara. Asalamu alaykum.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep
into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good morning, Kenya. Every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Wewe ukazichukua ukaenda ukazibadilisha namba na ukaanza kuziuza.
Ndio liibiwa?
Mimi bado ibiwa nduzi.
Kijana yako alikwambia liibiwa na nani?
Ngo yele sikuwa na pen. Na hii pen. Pen. Apiko.
Ndio tukapata wewe anatengeneza number plate, anabadilisha, anauza.
Tembea polepole na mwendo wa haste ukienda nyumbani.
How can pikipiki swim like a fish?
Ilienda kwa mtu ikaenda ikiduguruma tu.
Mzee,
bindio nilisema mvua inyeshe wakati ile uko kwa barabara.
Si wewe ulisema kwani wewe ni nyesaye, ubenyesaye wale mbuli.
Hapa nitakula vizuri sana.
Wizi!
Na leo yashindikana, ya kesho jui. Kwa udi na uvumba, mateso na ya kumba, jua likitua. Taka minavua, pesa nazivuna, ndoto zatimia. Ila mi najua najua kesho nitakuwa poa 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 poa. Through struggles nitatoboa toboa toboa toboa.
Josh, si mimi nafikiria mliongea na chief kuhusu maneno na mkakubaliana.
Hata mimi nilidhani hivyo pasi.
Sasa vile kunaenda, mimi naona hii ndoto yako ya kuenda kusomea ng'ambo ni kama sasa utaiachana nayo kabisa.
Pasi, kwani ulitisha zile pesa?
Bado? Lakini pako leo hii babako anakuja hapa kunitishia.
Pasi, usitishike. Sawa, wewe acha Pastor Joel ashughulike na hiyo mpango. Na ajaribu kuharakisha kidogo ndo at least mzee akirudi apate niko na passport.
So Joshua, unafikiria ngatu passport tu ni kitu tu ya kwenda na kuchukua? Unafikiria inatoka na siku 2?
Sisi zimemaliza kama wiki saa hii. Na Pastor Joel aliniambia itachukua siku kama 3.
Yes, siku 3. Bila hizi vikwazo babako anatuletea hapa.
Na sasa tutafanyaje? Juu hata picha za passport bado sijapigwa.
Josh, hujapigwa picha passport?
Lakini niko na zile za kitambo zenye nilikuwa nimepea pasi.
Correct. Hizo ndo zitatumika. Na documents zako?
Nilikuwa nimempatia kila kitu.
Okay.
Chenye tu ilikuwa imebaki ni pesa.
Yuko sawa.
Unaweza pigia Pastor Joel niongee naye tafadhali?
Pastor Joel? Unataka kuongea naye?
Tafadhali.
Okay, sawa. Dakika moja. Hello, Pastor. Yes, bwana asifiwe. Niko mzima nashukuru. Now, first thing first, nilikuwa nauliza ile mambo ya Josh ilifikia wapi? Uko kwa ofisi za passport saizi? That's nice. Actually, hata ni Josh mwenyewe alikuwa amefikia hapa. Alikuwa anauliza kuongea na wewe. Huyu si mtu wa kubadilisha nia yako, sawa? Yes. Okay. Yeah, Josh. Ngena pastor.
Halo? Pasi? Ni mimi Josh.
Nilijua tu siku hizi isha kama huyu mtu hajakuja hapa.
Hodi! Hodi! Sikudhani kuwa wewe ni msaliti Ufwambe. Si nilikusaidia mpaka ukapata zawadi akiwa mzima. Sasa mbona unaenda kinyume na yale tulikuwa tumekubaliana?
Habari yako Andrew? Mimi niko salama, na wewe je?
Kwa na makubaliano Ufwambe.
Kweli?
Na mbona Chief Matata anafikiria kuwania kiti? Na yuko na uhakika sana utampa support yako.
Na hajakosea. Andrew, hii wadi inahitaji kiongozi kama Chief Matata. Na mimi naahidi nitampa my full support mpaka nihakikisha ameshinda. Mradi tu akubali na amue kusimama.
Ako wapi?
Hayuko nani?
Sina Bedi.
Kwa na Bedi alikwambia kwamba atakuja huku?
Tulikuwa tukuja naye hapa. Kutane huku.
Sasa hata mimi ndio nilikuwa nina kwenda huko kumwangalia.
Haya, amenituma kwako.
Amekutuma na ujumbe gani?
Mimi nimekujia pesa, alafu twende na wewe tukamchukua hiyo Abedi, twende kwa hiyo Shylock.
Elijah, hizi pesa ambazo ziko hapa hazitoshi kabisa kwa hiyo Shylock.
Chief. Na ile pesa ilituma Pastor Joel haijatumiwa?
Kuntumania pesa? Hebu ngoja kidogo. Elijah, hapa sijatumaniwa pesa na yote hapa. Si Pastor Joel wala huyo Abednego, hakuna ambaye ametumania pesa.
Chief, nitahakikisha mnanijua.
Unamaanisha nini kusema hivyo?
Mtanikoma nyinyi.
Mimi natumania pesa. Mbona sioni message yote hapa?
Hapo mlicheza kama nyinyi kabisa.
Lakini Josh, mimi sijui ndaika kichwa yangu wapi. Kwa sababu mimi baba hapa atakuja hapa kuniua.
Pasi, usijali. Unaona dada akiona tu passport hivi, atakuwa sawa.
Lakini Josh, naona wewe ni mjanja. Josh, itabidi tumepigia Pastor Joel. Awachane na mambo ya passport kwanza kidogo. Matilda, nilijua wewe si mwanamke wa kutoka kwa ndoa yako. Tunashukuru Mungu sana umerudi.
Asante Pastor.
Josh, hukuniambia mama yako amerudi?
Pastor Abednego, hata nimerudi tu leo.
Maombi yangu imefanya kazi. Na hapo tuzidi kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu.
Amen.
Mom, I hope same mko sawa na dad, si ndio? Pasi?
Yes.
Si vile tumeongea baki tu hivyo.
Ni sawa Josh, tuta link up. Tutaongea.
Sawa.
Haya.
Mom, si tuonana jioni.
Matilda, hukuniambia Elijah ni mtu wa vituko hivyo?
Pastor, pole. Hata ndio sababu niko hapa.
Umekuja nikuombee na pia niombee ndoa yako. Ni sawa, twende tuombe. Matilda, unataka kuombewa hapa nje?
Pastor, kuna vile naweza rudishiwa zile pesa za scholarship ya Josh. Ni kama huu mpango tutaahirisha kwa sasa.
Mbona tu nilipokuahidi kuwa na drop support yangu kwa Chief Matata na anaenda kumshawishi asiwanie kiti cha UMCA, hapo ndipo zawadi alipopatikana.
Ufwambe, nilifikiri wewe ni wakili mjanja. Si ulipata mwanao akiwa mzima?
Na kwa mara ya 10 nitakwambia hilo sijakataa. lakini niko na maswali mengi sana akilini mwangu.
Who cares? Ulipata zawadi ama hukumpata?
Nilimpata. Na ndio maana sasa nataka kujua alitekwa nyara vipi, nani walimteka nyara, na ni nani alilipa ndiye atekwe nyara.
Okay. Yes. Sasa naona Chief Matata amechafua akili yako na mmeshikana sasa mnataka kunipiga, sio?
Sasa mbona tukupige? Andrew, kwa kila mashindano lazima kuwe na mshindi na anayeshindwa. Usiogope kwa huyo wa pili.
Ofwambe, umenisaliti hata baada ya mimi kutimiza sehemu yangu ya makubaliano yetu.
Manake we na huyo Mande ni wanyama. Na nina hakika sana nyinyi wawili mlihusika kwa utekaji nyara wa zawadi.
Can you prove it? Can you prove it? Ofwambe, mimi huwa sisahau wasaliti. Na wewe pia umeingia kwenye hiyo list.
Kwa hivyo nafaa kuogopa?
Utajua tu Ofwambe. Utajua tu.
Andrew. Una uhakika hata ukiwania hiyo kiti ya MCA utapata hata kura 100? Manake hata mke wako mwenyewe hana imani na uongozi wako.
Alikwambia hivyo?
Kuna mambo mengine si lazima mtu aseme. Tukizungumza na yeye,
Monica alikuwa hapa.
Tulipokuwa
Ofwambe. Okay. Naona sasa umeanza kuvuka mpaka wangu.
Mimi si kuja kwako. Mke wako ndiye alikuja hapa kwangu.
Kukuambia nini? You are playing the live wire. Just watch this space. Watch this space.
Nitagundu wakita, wengine watasema niko na kitu.
Wewe ukazichukua ukaenda ukazibadilisha namba na ukaanza kuziuza.
Ndio uliibiwa?
Mimi bado ibiwa nduthi.
Kijana yako alikwambia liibiwa na nani?
Ngo yele sikuwa na pen. Na hii pen. Pen. Apiko.
Ndio tukapata wewe anatengeneza number plate, anabadilisha, anauza.
Tembea polepole na mwendo wa haste ukienda nyumbani.
How can pikipiki swim like a fish?
Ilienda kwa mtu ikaenda ikiduguruma tu.
Mzee,
mimi ndio nilisema mvua inyeshe wakati ile uko kwa barabara.
Si wewe ulisema kwani wewe ni nyesaye, ubenyezao wala meimbuli.
Wewe wahitaji watatu ili kukamilika. Mimi nahitaji wawili.
Wewe pia? Hivi Pili alikuwa yazungumzia ukweli?
Ule. Wani?
Na anafanya nini pale na Patel?
Hata mimi nashangaa.
Tusherekee kwa kuja kwa Sitara. My daughter. My daughter.
Nitagundu wakita, wengine watasema niko na kicha.
Kwa hivyo hivi tunavyozungumza mamako yuko nyumbani?
Amesharudi. Lakini nimemwacha bado kwa Pastor Bidi.
Hata huko ndo ulikoko naenda sahi.
Chief, haina haja.
Haina haja? Haina haja? Haina haja vipi? Wewe unajua kwamba babako wewe anatoka hapa na asira zake zote. Ama Pastor Bidnagu amekupa pesa?
Chief, hizo zimeshaenda.
Zimeshakwenda? Unamaanisha nini ukisema hivyo?
Chief, Pastor Joel asha apply passport. Sasa chenye imebaki ni mimi nijipeleke town, nijaze forms. Alafu within 1 week nitakuwa na passport. Chief, finally naenda ng'ambo. Na nikifika tu hivi, sitasahau watu wote wamenishikilia. Kwanza akina Kama, mama yangu Cindy, hata wewe Chief, sitakusahau.
Monica! 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 Kwani umejaza pamba kwa masikio wewe? Na kuuliza ulikuwa umeenda kufanya nini kwa Fwambe?
Ala. Mimi ni mtu mzima. Sifai kuwa nauliza ruhusa kwenda kokote?
Monica, nimejaribu kukuvumilia lakini unaendelea ukinishinda kabisa.
Makosa yangu ni gani? Kwenda kujua kama ule mtoto mwingine amefika vizuri. Hiyo ndio makosa yangu.
Ni wako. Ni wako. Unajua Mandi yuko wapi saa hii? Kumbuka sijazeeka sana.
So, hata mimi bado ni manyanga.
Very good. Good. Na maanisha nikikuacha saa hii unaweza pata mume mwingine, si ndio? Monica, hakuna kitu ama mtu atasimama kati yangu na kile kiti. Including you.
Unamaanisha nini?
Namaanisha endelea tu hivyo hivyo. Hivi karibuni utakuja kuona kwa vitendo.
Oh. Okay. Ni sawa basi. Okay. Matilda, siku nzuri.
Pastor, sikujua ya maneno itafika hapa.
Alafu unasikia anasema lazima tumlipe hiyo interest ya hizo 8 months. Bila hiyo hizi tupatia title. Alafu nakumbuka bado kulikuwa na ile pesa ulitoa kama fungu la 10, bado kulikuwa na ile nilichukua kama commission. Hizi pesa zote lazima tuzijumuishe pamoja tuzirudishe Matilda. Unaona hapo itakuwa ngumu kidogo.
Pastor, sasa tutafanyaje juu naona ndoa yangu ni kama itaharibika?
Ndoa yako haiwezi haribika Matilda. Mimi
Vijana wakati wa vijana sio kesho ama kesho kutwa. Wakati wa vijana ni leo. Na kusema ukweli, tumejaribu wazee na kuna haja ya kurudia kosa moja mara mbili kweli? Hapana. Ndio maana mimi kama Justin ama ukipenda Justo, kijana wa wadi hii, nimekuja kuwaomba kura zenyu kwa uchaguzi unaokuja. Mtanichukua?
Sisi tujaribu vijana sasa. Kwenda huko.
Kuna haja ya kurudia kosa moja mara mbili kweli? Hapana. Ndio maana
Andrew hataizana kweli na hii damu moto. Sasa Andrew, mambo yako kuisha kabisa. Justin Community Cup. Vizuri sana. Yani kutafurika sana uwanjani. Andrew, mambo yako kwisha.
Tunataka leaders kama Justo sasa, Hiyo community shield. Tunaikujia na ubaya,
Ala, Josh. Leo unaenda kucheza mpira?
Hapana. Nataka tu nijitayarishe juu kuna game inakuja very soon. Hata hizi viatu nilikuwa nimezitupa ndo nimezitafuta nizipanguze. Ikifika hiyo time inipate nikiwa ready.
Oh. Na mimi nilikuwa nataka twende tukalime kidogo kabla mvua ijarudi.
Dad, nilikuwa nataka kwenda kuona Pastor BD kwanza juu ile maneno ya pesa.
Josh, ulikuwa unaenda kuangalia pesa ama ni scholarship?
Dad, si ulisema utaki niende ng'ambo? Mimi nataka kufuatilia mambo ya pesa ndo angalau ugomvi yako na mami ishi.
Nilijua utaelewa tu Josh, kwamba tukirudisha hizi pesa tutapata njia zingine bora zaidi za kupata pesa. Sawa Josh?
Sawa.
Na nilitaka ufikirie business idea. Ndio mambo ikienda mzuri uniambie inagharimu pesa ngapi. Banki kitupatia kama ni pesa, nijue vile nitakupanga. Sawa?
Sawa.
Na ile jembe kubwa iko huko?
Iko huko kwangu, acha nikuletee.
Wacha mimi niende nikapalilie. Na ambia huyu Abednego asitamani ama nifanye nirudi kwake tena. Sawa?
Monica, morning. Uko salama?
Mandi, unataka kutumia mume wangu mpaka lini?
Speaking of mume, ako ndani, nimekuja kumwona.
Uko sure unataka kunipima wazimu kweli Mandi? Na nikuulize, Zawadi kuibiwa ilikuwa isaidiaje Andrew kwa siasa?
Si umuulize. Mimi nafaa kujua aje?
Mandi, kwani unataka tu tuzidi kwa maadui?
Monica, Andrew wako
hayuko. Na hujanijibu. Unataka kutumia Andrew mpaka lini? Ndio blackmail ufombe wako.
Monica, relax. Sisi wote we all use each other. Nataka urafiki yetu ulinitumia na pia mimi nikakutumia in one way or another.
Hata siko sure unataka hata Andrew ashinde hiki kiti by the way.
Of course. Nataka ashinde hata zaidi yako. Can you believe that?
Unamaanisha nini?
Namaanisha Monica, action speaks louder than words, and actions zako hazionyesha support kwa Andrew at any particular point. Anyway, mwambie nilikuwa hapa. In fact, wacha nitampigia simu mimi mwenyewe.
Monica, huyo mpumbavu Justin ni nani?
Andrew, umeona video ya Justin?
Mimi ninavyokuambia Ufwambe, yule kijana ndio dawa ya Andrew. Karibu Maki.
Asante. Yaani chifu, wewe na wewe uliamua utaki kuingia kwa siasa kabisa.
Muda mwingine bwana.
Sasa muda mwingine upi? Hawa vijana jinsi ninavyowaona, tukikaa vibaya ole wetu sisi wazee.
Mimi ninavyokuambia bwana Ufwambe, sisi bado ni vijana. Tena bado tuko ngangari.
Kabisa. But in the next 5 years utakuwa kijana anymore.
Mimi nakuhakikishia yule kijana yuko sawa, amejipanga. Unaona bwana? Na hivi ninavyokuambia, Andrew hamwezi kabisa. Mipango yake iko sawa kabisa.
Na chief, hii Justin Cup tournament ilikuwa idea nzuri sana.
Kabisa. Na hivi ninavyokuambia Ufwambe, uwanjani kutajaa kisawa sawa. Alafu ndo kutakuwa na ushawishi hivi. Na usisahau hapo watu ndo watakata kura.
Natamani sana kuona sura ya Andrew.
Wewe kijana mdogo. Wewe ni nani?
Mzee, haunifahamu mimi? Mimi naitwa Peterson. Ama wananijua kama Mapesa. Na mimi hupeana mikopo.
Wewe ni Sherlock?
Bas. Sasa ndugu yangu, venye naona hapa nitakula vizuri sana. Ukiangalia hili shamba ni kubwa sana. Na venye nimeulizia sioni wenyewe akinilipa hizo pesa kwa ule muda tulikuwa tumekubaliana nao.
Unajipenda kweli?
Mzee, mimi najipenda. Na sijafikishwa hapa na kujichukia.
Nakupatia sekunde 60. Hata ngoja. 40 utoke kwa shamba yangu.
Mzee, hatutishiangu namna hiyo. Kwanza hili shamba unaliona hili.
Ngoja kidogo usitoke hapa.
Mzee, hujaniambia hata jina.
Mimi nimedeal na Sherlock kwa baya na akora kukuliko maisha yangu yote. Mwizi! We! Mwizi!
Wananiita gundu wakita, wengine watasema niko na kichaa, lakini mimi najua yatapita. Nitaja kuomoka nishike dinga, nyumba ya kifahari nitakaa, nipate hata binti ataenifaa, kwa kuwa mimi najua yatapita.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Alhamisi ya tarehe 14 mwezi Mei tunazuru eneo la Isiolo. Msafara wetu utaanzia katika eneo la Bula Pesa, kisha tuingie sokoni, Pepo la Tumaini, Soko Mjinga, KPLC, Red Cross, alafu tapenyeza hadi Burata. Baadaye tutaelekea katika eneo la Ngaremara. Tarehe 30 Juni iko mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Welcome back to Semana Spokes from Nagava.
Semana Spokes is the platform where Wananchi engage, query the government, and the government responds. It's your time to be informed. Don't miss Bonga Nagava every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Semana Spokes.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dada's Show, coming to you from Panari Hotel here in Nairobi. I'm your host, Ashiko Mbune. As our name suggests, Dada's Show aspires to promote the spirit of sisterhood, solidarity and inclusivity amongst the women of Kenya. And we do this by creating an open and a safe platform for women to discuss any and all issues pertaining to their health and well-being, their lifestyle and career, their families, among other topics. We also take pride in having the conversations that matter, not only to women, but to society at large. Happy Mother's Day. Welcome to part 1 of our Mother's Day special. And today we are focusing on one of the most important and powerful relationships. This is the bond between a mother and her daughter. Now, what do you do when the young girl, the little girl that you raised, becomes a grown woman with her own voice, her own choices, and her own perspective? How do you learn as a mother how to let go? And how do daughters learn how to understand the women who raised them? On this special episode of Dada's Show, I am joined by two incredible mother-daughter duos who are going to let us into their lives and share with us their journey. They will share with us the lessons that they carry, the moments that they share, and of course, the love that grows between the two of them. Today's conversation is all about connection, growth, and of course, love in its realest form. Remember to take part and keep this conversation going on all our social media pages at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach us on Facebook at Dada's Show KBC. You can reach me personally at Ashiko the Host across all social media platforms. Before we get into today's Mother's Day celebration, let's take a look at the following feature.
Every mother remembers when her daughter fits perfectly in her arms. Small hands reaching out, trusting, needing, belonging. In those early years, love feels simple. A mother leads, a daughter follows. The world is clearer, softer, and safer. But time has a way of changing things. That little girl grows. She begins to ask questions, to form opinions, to see the world not just through her mother's eyes, but through our own. And somewhere along the journey, the relationship begins to shift. The daughter finds a voice, and the mother must learn to hear it. It's not always easy. For many mothers, there is a quiet tension between holding on and letting go, between guiding and stepping back, because how do you release someone you've spent a lifetime protecting? And for daughters, there is a different struggle. They need to be understood, to be seen not just as a child, but as a woman becoming, not in opposition, but in identity. Sometimes it comes out as a distance, sometimes as a disagreement, sometimes as silence. But beneath it all, there is something deeper, a bond that doesn't break even when it bends. So how do mothers and daughters find their way back to each other? It begins with a shift from control to connection, from instruction to conversation. It's choosing to listen, not to respond, but to understand. It's allowing space, not as rejection, but as growth. Because the truth is, the relationship was never meant to stay the same. It was meant to evolve, to grow from dependence into mutual respect, from authority into friendship, from roles into real human connections. And in that space, something beautiful happens. A mother begins to see the woman her daughter has become, and a daughter begins to understand the woman who raised her. Not as perfect, but as real, with her own story, her own sacrifices, her own journey, and maybe that's where the healing begins. In the conversation we avoid, in the grace we choose to give, in the love that learns to adapt. Because she may no longer be the little girl you raised, but she is still your daughter. And perhaps now you're not just raising her anymore. You are learning her, and finally, she's learning you. As we celebrate the evolving bond between mothers and daughters, I wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day. For Dada's Show, I am Edna Murungi.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, happy Mother's Day to you. I hope you're enjoying it and you're celebrating it with the people who matter the most to you. As mentioned before the break, we are joined today with two incredible mother-daughter duos who are going to walk us through their lives, share with us their journey, how they've been able to deal with each other, cope with each other, grow with each other, support with each other, the whole shebang. So right next to me, I've got Mom Monica. Karibu sana, Monica. Thank you so much for making time to join us. Right next to her, we've got her daughter, Sally. You can clearly see the resemblance. Beautiful Sally. Thank you so much, Sally, for making time. And then right next to Sally, we've got Daktari Mwenyewe, Dr. Lucy. Karibu sana, Dr. Lucy. And right next to Dr. Lucy, we've got Mini Dr. Lucy, also known as Jewel. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today. I also cannot fail to appreciate and acknowledge my wonderful, wonderful audience who is here with us at Panari Hotel along Mombasa Road. Karibuni sana, ladies, and happy Mother's Day to you. I also want to appreciate you who is tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dada's Show every single week as we support each other, as we grow, as we learn, as we celebrate together through communication. So, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Karibuni sana. So, Monica, let me start off with you. When you look at Sally today, as a beautiful young woman, what makes you proud? You know, what makes you the most proud, and what still worries you a little bit, where you're like, why, who are you? Yes.
Thank you very much, Ashiko, and I'm so happy to be here today again. As you have said, I am Mama Sally, and Sally is my firstborn. And when she was very young, we used to be very close friends, and we also fought a lot. And I am so proud of her because of the woman she has become now. There are so many things that have changed so far, but I still take her as my little girl. And yeah, I am happy of where she is right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what is something that you're still worried about? Ama Sally alikwambia mama usiniaibishe kwa TV. You know, what are some of the things, you know, because we're being in the spirit of candor and honesty. What is something you're still worried about, you know, when you look at maybe Sally, or you look at the world that, you know, we are raising our children and they're growing up in?
Yeah, especially in this generation that we are, the Gen Zs,
Yeah.
it is not very easy to parent them. And I have so many worries, and sometimes some of them I keep to myself and
Yeah.
just pray for her. But I am particularly worried about the kind of friends she makes.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I do not want to let her just walk out or do it alone.
Yeah.
I normally monitor so much what she does, especially the kind of people she is around with. So when we talk about this generation that we are now in, it's not like the same way we were being parented as kids. I use some time to give them examples, or I give her examples of how life was with us,
Yeah.
and she's just looking at me like, so
Like,
what?
yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
And I thought maybe that does not work with them. So I monitor the kind of people she has around her, and she's a very outgoing girl.
Yeah.
Sometimes I call her the MC of the area because she collects kids, all kind, younger than her, older than her. They come and see her, and she's always there, trying to talk to them. She guides them.
Yeah.
So I monitor, and I get time with myself and her. I talk to her and I tell her, if I know a child is not a very good person or characters, I will tell them this is not good. Even if I know they are friends or maybe they grew up together and they changed at some point,
Yes.
I will have to tell her the truth.
Yeah.
So that is what I am still worried about.
Yeah.
It is something that we are still dealing with.
You're still dealing with,
Yes.
and I'm sure you'll continue dealing with it as you go on, because I think friendships, it doesn't, you're always being cautioned about friends, even way into your adulthood, So thank you so much, Monica, for that. Allow us to move on. So Jewel, what are some of the, what's something that people assume about having Dr. Mom that actually isn't true?
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Jewel Wangare. I am married with 2 kids and I host a podcast, and that's why I am today. So people think Dr. Mom is actually tough, and to make it worse, she's a pastor.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that means people think there's a standard that has already been set for me.
Yes.
And unfortunately, my mom is the sweetest.
Mm.
She doesn't care about what other people think. She's cared about me. She's more concerned about who I am, how I portray myself, how I think, how I speak, all that, instead of what does society think about you. So even
Yes.
books-wise, we're not forced to be doctors.
Yeah.
All of us are now the opposite side of what she has done.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
So I'm really, really impressed that, your mom told you, chart your own path, do your own thing. And then on top of all that, you're a pastor. We'll need to come back to that. How do you stop being passy and then now you become mom? How do you relax? Actually, you know what? Let's tackle that, when we move on to you. First of all, as a professional and a mother and a pastor, was there ever a moment where you felt like you were torn between your career, your faith, and being present for, your child or for Jewel or your children? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. I didn't want to look at the pastor's thing, but Jewel has brought it. But
it's right here with us.
I'm not ashamed about it.
Yes.
Yes, I gave birth to Jewel. I have 2 other daughters.
Yes.
I'm a mother
Wow.
of daughters. When I had just completed my undergraduate training at the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
That was in 1997.
Yes.
I think I had a lot of time for those 2 years.
Yes.
Because I had just finished my internship at Kenyatta National Hospital, and I didn't have a lot. I was just beginning my medical career. But for the other 2, I actually gave birth when I was doing my master's at the university.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy to balance working in the ward and all that comes with it. As you've heard, my husband is the pastor. I assist him.
Yeah.
But definitely I also have a calling and ministry. Therefore, there is also that to do. And then my work at the beginning was clinical work at the university, at the hospital. But 10 years later, I joined an organization that required me to travel quite a bit. We've traveled quite a bit. And therefore, it was difficult to balance. And sometimes, I must say, I felt very guilty to leave them. My third born would really cry. In fact, at times, she would throw herself down when they escorted me to the airport and all that. And it was difficult, and many times I cried. However, there were always ways to balance that.
Yes.
I made sure that sometimes when I traveled within the country, we went with them to the hotels and we stayed together. And of course, on Sundays, we'd create time to be together. And in between the week, when Jewel was doing her class what? I keep confusing because I come from that other gen, whatever it is, generation. Class 8.
Yes.
I think I spent a lot of time every day teaching her mathematics, which she didn't shame me.
Yeah.
She scored very well.
Nice.
And therefore you create time. But definitely there is always that pull. Do I feel that maybe I didn't do it as I would if I went back? Yes, I think so. I think if my life was rewinded in a way, I'd spend a little bit more time with my children. I'd be more intentional than I was at that time. Because I think at the end of the day, what you got is your family.
Yes.
Yeah, you can achieve so much, but at the end of the day, what you got is a family. But at the same time, it's also good to realize that parenting is a journey. Therefore, we still have time, maybe, to make up some things that never worked.
Nani, Madam MCA, wa area. Huh? What are some of the things that Mom did as you were growing up, you're still growing up, that you look at it now and you think, wow, that was actually an act of love?
So at that time, I was like, why are you not allowing me? I just want to have fun with my friends. But then as I grew up, it was like with a lot of things going on, also some friendships are sometimes bad. I've seen it was helping me get rid of some things and also avoid some of the things that happen right now.
Excellent. So let's come back to you, Monica. What's one parenting decision that you made? Because Sally ameshasema wewe ulikuwa wewe ni mkali sana. If you look at Monica, you can't believe that she's a mkali like that. And she's always laughing, smiling. Always imagine, yeye ni mkali wa kushikilia mwiko kwa nyumba, you know? What are some of the parenting decisions that you made that Sally questioned at the time and you stood firm on that?
I may look very soft, but I am tough also. And especially, but how I used to talk to them, if a child does something that I did not like, I used to tell them first the mistake, then I beat them. So that
we're still beating.
So while they are crying, they know why.
Those people for spanking. No, beating.
Yeah, so I will tell them that, you know, I am a teacher by profession. Yeah, although I'm not in the field now.
Yeah.
Because of a younger sister who is 9 years old.
Yes.
And she got a disability.
Yeah.
She's the one who changed me now from being a teacher.
Yeah.
And because of so many things that happened, I had to quit being a teacher.
Yeah.
So I ventured into disability space. And I am now leading up a very big number of women who are caregivers like me.
Yeah.
So while they were growing up, the discipline is one of the things that I used to really instill in them.
Yes.
But as I said, I have to tell them why I am beating them first. We talk. I tell them, you did this, and for that reason, I'm beating you.
But the beating has to happen.
Yeah, it has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen.
It has to happen.
So while they cry, they know why they are doing that.
Yeah.
There are also some things that I did not like about them, especially that the way they used to clothe. They wanted to go with the trend. Fashion, no, the crop tops, no, and they want to wear small wazi. And I told them, no. She has another sister.
Yeah.
Apart from the one with the disability,
yes.
There is a third. My third born is also a 15-year-old.
Yes.
And they used to give me stress a lot. Even now, nakwambia they want crop top, wanakutumia mapicha, wanataka wavae. Me, I look at this and I'm like, what is this now? So wao wanakasirika, wananiambia they are like, unawaweka kando, make them now out of wengine. Their friends are this, and then niko hapo kuambia no way.
Yeah.
But I taught them polepole, nikamwambia if you are wearing na kitu ingine sijui inaitwa bodysuit, at least itafunika. So if you want something, ikae tu hapo, lakini kuwa kuna kitu kumefunika kwa mwili.
So you're getting to a compromise.
Yes. But I don't want them to show off their bodies, yes. Especially the tumbo, you know. And they were not very happy with it. But with the time, you can see even how she's dressing now.
With time, there was no for showing stomach.
Yeah, she's like, saizi, hata hiyo slipovers anasema, siku hizi hata ukimwambia hata mahali anakuangalia, anashinda, naenda kwa watu kufanya nini?
Good.
Na zamani alikuwa analia. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I did.
Yeah.
And I still stand for them now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I think that the topic of clothing, I think we fought with that a lot. Especially now, you know, sometimes I sit and then I'm like, oh, thank God I have a boy. Why? Because I sit and I say, and I look at some of the trends nowadays. Yeah. and I'm walking around. And you know, when we were younger, I would always sit down and you'd be like, I'm fashionable. And then one day I found myself saying, Sasa, so you angetembea ushi. I was like, we have become an old woman. I have become an old woman, you know? So I know the topic of clothes and dressing between mothers and daughters has always been an issue. I used to like wearing the heels that are this tall. You know, and I'm already an Amazon. I'm already a very tall person. And my mom would always tell me, Sasa wewe, ukiva hiyo yote ukianguka kutoka huko juu mpaka huko chini. And I used to wonder, my goodness, what is the problem? I mean, but definitely that's normally a sore topic. How do you deal with it, Dr. Pastor Lucy? I'm looking for another title. I'll add Dr. Pastor Lucy Mama Jewel, yes.
I think train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it.
Amen.
I think one of the ways to teach our children, and that is constant throughout generations, is the behavior and the character of the parents.
Yes.
Because I realize you instill more to your children, even to people, of who you are, not what you say.
Yes.
So there are some things I've seen my children have taken, not because I told them, but because they have observed me doing that. Whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, because sometimes it can be a bad thing, and they carry it on. So over and above telling a child what they should do, really it's how you live that truly impacts them. Some of the things were actually passed to me by my mother, my late mother, who passed on in December. And the toughness you see on the face, my mother was exactly. Even my sisters, we look so tough, people hear us, but you know, inside we are
your sweethearts, as your daughter has said. Yes. Yeah.
And I would say that one thing I saw my mother do from the time I was young was to care for poor people. At first we thought, oh, you know, like those days, bread was very precious. And my mother, we lived in town, so she would buy a loaf of bread. But there were so many people that were coming, and she would serve them first. It didn't matter. They eat first, then we eat.
Then you guys eat, yeah.
That thing was passed on to me, which I have seen with my children. In fact, at times I see like they are over-sacrificing because it is passed on. So I would say in anything, whether you're talking about dressing, you're talking about how to treat people, you're talking about time management, you're talking anything, really is passed on from what the children observe, especially when they are very young. Of course, it's reinforced by talking to them, but I think what we are is really what our children become.
Exactly. Monkey see, monkey do. Because I think, and those are some of the tough lessons I also learned as a mother, because I would be here preaching and say, don't do this, get off your phone, get off your phone, get off your phone. And me, I'm over there just scrolling the whole day. And you sit and you wonder, why is he still doing the same thing? So I think that's also a call to action for parents. As we are busy expecting so much of our children, our adult children, what kind of example are you setting for them to emulate? Let's move on to you, Jewel. Because she's mentioned one lesson, one life lesson, but tell us another that you have carried from your mom that you find yourself doing almost every day, aside from the over-sacrificing.
Well, I'll say two things. One is time management. My mom hates mismanagement of time. It's not even a joke. We are here on time. If you're not here on time, you have to explain why. And she keeps saying traffic's not an excuse.
Absolutely.
If you are to leave, if you know Mombasa Road traffic is like 1 hour, leave 2 hours before. So that's one. Number two is financial management. Money to us is a tool of what do I say? It's a tool of exchange. It's not, you don't have to keep it in your heart. So know how to, what do you do? How do you budget? Where do you go? Like budgeting for me is so huge. My husband keeps complaining that I'm too strict with every coin. But I even know, like right now I have 30 bob in my pocket. That's how much I've known how to.
And you know what you're going to do with
that 30 bob. Yes, it can do something else. So those are the two things I'd point out.
Those are powerful lessons, Mom. Time management and financial independence. I think that's brilliant. Let's move on to you, Sally. What's the one thing, out of all the things that Mom has taught you, one thing that you've been very intentional to choose to do differently? Na Monica, usikasirikie mtoto. What are some of the things you've said? Mimi sitafanya kama mama yangu, mimi sitafanya kama I am my own person. What are some of the things that you have decided that you're going to do differently from Mom?
and she's mad or there's something that's disturbing her, and let's say us, we don't know. Let's say me and my siblings don't know. We have no idea.
Yes.
So she's keeping it. But now, let's say sometimes we do something. Now she wants to
she will snap at you.
She'll snap.
Yes.
So I want to be someone that you say, what is your problem? Like, if it's that issue, talk to me.
Talk to me. Tell me I had a bad day.
I had a bad day. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. Don't talk to me right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's really nice. And I think very many, especially of our moms, we do that. Because what I think we also need to pass on to the younger generation is to let them know that talking about your emotions and your feelings was non-existent. It was completely non-existent. Now is when we're starting to embrace. And I think I'd like to challenge mothers who are watching us today about one tool that I have noticed. I am not by any means a professional mother. I am still failing every other day. But I think the vulnerability, letting your children see your vulnerability, letting your children see when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're sad, when you're defeated, when you're broken, it makes you very relatable. Unajua si kila mtu alikuwa number 1 shule. You know me, I grew up and I believe my mom was number 1 from class 1 till university. I think all our parents were number 1s and you wonder then who was number 2? You know, and everybody walked without shoes to school. What were all the cars doing? So today, Sally has challenged Mom, if you're having a hard time, please say, you don't even have to say what's going on. Perhaps you just say, not today. I am in a space. And you sequester yourself away from the children. So thank you so much for that. And I'm sure wazazi, munaskiza, I hope. You know, so what are some of the, I think, Monica, how has your role changed? Because right now, especially, you know, you did mention about having a daughter who has CP, and you left the profession of teaching to now concentrate with her. How are you able to balance, because now that there was a change of roles, how are you able to balance taking care of your differently abled child and your other children who are, you know, like who also need your attention constantly? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ashiko. That's a very sensitive question for me because in the beginning, the first 2 years, when I gave birth to her, all of us were in chaos.
Yeah.
I was not understanding what was happening to my daughter. Them, they were also not understanding.
Yeah.
So sometimes they used even to ask me some questions that made me cry.
Yeah.
You know, like, why is she so thin? Why is she not doing this? Because they were young at that time.
Yes, of course, they were kids.
But as time went by, I started learning more for myself first, and then I taught them also. They learned about the cerebral palsy. They knew why I had to take much time on her. And along the way, they started helping. Like for me, in fact, sometimes I feel sorry for her because she's nowadays like the one taking more on that girl more than I am doing.
Yeah.
So I now get time to go out when she's not in school. I go out there and have fun, or maybe at least catch up with some people.
Yeah.
She's just there sitting with the girl because my daughter is she's fully dependent.
Yeah.
So no one can leave her. She has to be with somebody. Even if I have a house help, somebody must be there with her.
Yes.
And she takes much of the responsibility. In fact, recently when we were talking about having advanced education, and we thought of taking her to a boarding place where she can go and stay there.
Yes.
Our question was like, Mom, what are you going to do? No,
because your life has been centered around
caregiving. She was like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you really going to survive this? And for me, I felt, I don't know, mixed reactions. I don't know whether to feel sad or to feel good, but I thought, no, you have your life because I need to be sorry for her. Maybe I've taken a lot of her time, and she also needs to go out there and have time with herself and live her life, you know. And so I've managed. The other two are better.
Yeah.
I can say them, they have not involved themselves so much with that young girl. But for this one, she has taken part of me. And I told her, firstborn, no, that is what happens with firstborns. Although the road is a tough one, but let us work together. And she really loves her sister so much. Wow. She even questions me sometimes on how I'm handling her. Yeah. So for that, she at one point told me, this is my child. So I'm like, so she will like, you people don't know how to handle her. And I might just listen and keep quiet, but deep down my heart, I feel like sometimes I want to just cry.
Yeah,
so I truly, I know now she's now about to go out there and make her life better, pursue education also more. And at some point she'll have to move out. So
We're not ready for that. That's not a conversation for today. That's not a conversation for today because we are all there. We will need, Dr. Pastor Mama Jewel to tell us how we are going to navigate when our children move out. But, I think thank you so much. And I think I have to affirm you so much, Sally, for helping and stepping in and helping Mom, with the care of your sister. It is not something that comes automatic, okay? Especially to young people. So I definitely have to commend you for that, for adjusting, for making time, for sacrificing. So I feel like we need to give her a round of applause. Amma. Yay! I feel like we need to give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. And thank you. And I also have to commend you. I keep on saying, parents of differently able children, I feel like you have a special place, in heaven, because this is not something that you signed up for, but you commit yourself and you go in wholeheartedly. You devote your time, your resources, everything. And I really pray to God that everything works out. Yeah. So thank you. I want us to take the final question, I want each and every one of you to describe the other with just 3 words. I want to start from our lady of the day. Everyone, my panelists, you will allow Sally to be my star of the day, please. Nimesema. So I want to start with my star, Sally. Sally, what are the 3 words you can describe Mom as?
Strong, loving, and very considerate.
Very?
Considerate.
Very considerate. So she considered strong. We should have been given tissues. Oh my God. Strong, loving, and very considering. Thank you so much. Monica, what do you think about my star?
For me, I think she's very, very loving, very caring, and she has qualities of a leader. Absolutely. And I'm praying for her to keep pursuing the same, and I know she'll go far.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Let's move on to Jewel. Jewel, give me 3 words you would want to tell. You can describe Mom today.
I'd say the one that is depth to my heart is that she is sincerely loving. It's not even a joke. She carries everyone in her heart. Oh, wow. Everyone, including the church. Yes. Can you imagine how much? Yeah, so she's
a very big heart.
Yeah. She has a sugar cane could pass through her heart. That's how deep her love is.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. Dr. Pastor Mama Jewel. Give me 3 words or 1 powerful word, however you want to phrase it, about Jewel.
Since I gave birth to Jewel, who is my firstborn.
You're both firstborns, yay.
Yeah. No, I'm 6th.
Yes.
Myself.
No, I'm saying Sally is also a firstborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
They take up a lot of responsibility. Anyways, but since I gave birth to Jewel, she's really beautiful. Yes, that's why we called her Jewel. Oh. I couldn't put off my eyes from her. For so long, I'd just look at her.
Just stare at her.
Yes. Jewel is beautiful, but also very bold. So she's bold and beautiful and outstanding. Thank you, Jewel, for making me proud as my firstborn.
Oh.
Yes.
Round of applause, guys. That is truly inspirational. I hope as you're watching us at home, you're having an opportunity to tell your mom or your guardian or somebody who has stepped into those shoes, or even say a prayer for the moms who are no longer with us, reminding them and saying a prayer and saying, thank you, God, for giving me the kindest mother, the most loving, the most generous, all of those. I think I run out of words to even describe my mother, but she definitely knows what I feel about her. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back for the question and answer session. So you can go wipe these tears, but don't go far away.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Alhamisi ya tarehe 14 mwezi Mei tunazuru eneo la Isiolo. Msafara wetu utaanzia katika eneo la Bula Pesa. kisha tuingie sokoni, Pepo la Tumaini, Soko Mjinga, KPLC, Red Cross, alafu tutapenyeza hadi Burata. Baadaye tutaelekea katika eneo la Ngaremara. Tarehe 30 Juni iko mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
In a world where news is ever changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible
to
make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me. Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tunaangamiza dhana potovu kuhusu matumizi ya biopesticides.
Na vile Boniface, tuangalie manufaa yanayotokana na kukuza mimea tofauti katika shamba lako.
Dawa za biopesticides ziko na ufanisi mzuri na tena zile zinaitwa zile dawa zile broad spectrum. Utapata kwamba dawa moja inaua huyo diamond blackmoth na tena wadudu wengine wale wote ambao tunazungumzia.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1
kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, happy Mother's Day to you. Remember, if you missed the first part of this show, you can definitely find all the episodes of Dada's Show on YouTube under the KBC channel YouTube page. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. So now this is my favorite part of the show, where we give our wonderful audience an opportunity to give us a question, a comment, any feedback towards today's conversation. So to start us off for this session, we've got Liz. Liz, karibu sana.
I'm Liz Geshora, and I have a question to the wonderful moms on stage. And my question is basically about how did you transition raising your children, especially during their adolescence, whereby there's hormone buildup? How did you navigate around it to bring up girls who didn't disappoint you with teenage pregnancies, as it's becoming the tickling time bomb in our day society that children are exposed to sexual encounters at a very early age? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. I think for me, it makes me want to smile or laugh and then want to cry again. Because for real, if I tell you something small about myself, I was not privileged to grow in my mom's home. She didn't raise me. So I was always with my, I don't know whether to call them stepmothers, but my other mother. So there was no that close relationship. So for me, I always wanted to give my kids the best of myself. And since I told you I have been a teacher before, where I was teaching, I went with them when they were young. So we grew up together. Tunaenda asubuhi na hiyo makisirani, tunarudi jioni, tuko tu pamoja all the time. Break time, they are here all over me, you know, until now they grew up. And I'm telling you, that period of teenage is the worst. Because I'm telling you, hizo hormones watu walikuwa wanakasirika. and you don't even know what is happening. Unaambia mtu osha vyombo, anaona unamdharau, anaona ako tu sijui nini, anakasirika. Hiyo siku hakuna mtu anaongesha mtu kwa nyumba, and I'm there like, what did I do? No, it was, I have to, there is this one who is 20 and then there is the other one who is now 15. Na I'm telling you, ilikuwa ngumu sana. Sasa ile unakasirika mpaka unasikia kuambia endeni hata muende kabisa mniache. But right now where I am enjoying, because now I'm no longer talking with the kids, I'm talking with the friends. It is good to be patient with them. Yes. It is good to understand them, because we went through the same. So unakuwa patient and then we make friends with them. And I'm it is okay for you to feel the way you are feeling. Yes. But don't let it be too much, you know. Ikisha we kuja tu tufurahi. And I like her because Sally is one, she's very much good. Na ananiambianga unasikia akisema ati mom, sometimes you keep quiet and you don't talk to her. Because me sitaki kuwapatia mizigo yangu, but I am happy she said you speak up. Now she will be ready for me to speak, or I don't know whether she's going to manage. But for her also, she also has that kind of thing. But now the difference is I now realize why she says that, because she speaks. She tells me, mom, today leo niko too off. I didn't used to understand why the same. And then kidogo anakuja anasema anambia, yaani ulikuwa tu unakasirika kidogo alafu unafurahi. Utapona tu. So I am up, that's what we are doing. And yake imepita sasa because amekuwa grown up. I don't know if the other 15-year-old hiyo ndo tuko naye sasa hapo.
Na muta manage, by the way, because Sally atakusaidia, but thank you so much for that. I think the patience and also being around them, you've been present in their life. Of course, you've been able to help them navigate that. What about you, Dr. Pastor Mama Jewel?
All right, all my 3 girls are adults now. I would say that, in addition to what Mama Sally has said, I think it's important for us to realize that children are different, even at teenage. And they all experience different things that sometimes is related to their preteen and even to their childhood. So I think there are children who are uneventful. They really go through without much trouble. And Jewel is one of them. Really, I cannot say that I had a hard time with Jewel. The others were also different, with the different challenges and different, successes, if we say. And therefore, I would encourage parents to look at each child uniquely and to deal with each child as they are. And then not to generalize, not to throw general words like you teenagers, not looking at that child and understanding that child and being able to discuss with that child what they are going through, what they need, and also sometimes also disconnecting yourself. I think there is a place where parents, from childhood to teenagehood to also adulthood, where you get so attached to your children, because I think a mother's life is connected to their children. Maybe because we carry them, and it's very hard, as our coordinator today told us, to disconnect yourself from a child. But I've realized that even at teenage, even from the time they are young, from the time they are teenage, from the time they become adults, there comes a time when you may want to know that you are an individual, and also these people are individuals. And sometimes not feeling like if they fail, you are the one who have failed.
Absolutely.
Because that makes the parents so anxious, hyper, and sometimes because of that, we make decisions that may not be very good for that child. And also allowing for some, mistakes. Let me just give this one very quickly.
Clock it.
Yes, clock it.
Yeah.
My mother died in December, and I want to give it in a very summarized way. My mother died in December. My sister who really took care of her up to her deathbed, and my mother died talking so good about this daughter. I won't say which one. Got pregnant when she was in class 7, those many years.
Yeah.
And my mother was so disappointed because she was the brightest. And things looked like they didn't go well between the two of them. But by the time my mother died, I don't think she would have lived to 93 years if it wasn't for this daughter. So I want to say that you can't even judge yourself in terms of your success of parenting by that just teenage. Yeah. And children are different, and they will bring different things even when they are older. We are 6 girls, so in my family, so I know. And by the time mom died, she really, because 3 days she really talked. She talked good about each one of us and what we meant for her. Yet some of us thought maybe some didn't go to medical school like me, some didn't, you know, but every child is unique. And take them one day at a time.
Thank you so much for that. Wow, those are gems of wisdom. What about you, Jewel? You're a mom also. So how are you going to navigate? We're saying those ones who are memaliza. Sasa wewe ndo uko kwa hiyo safari. How are you going to navigate this particular season?
I have 2 kids who I bore together, meaning I gave birth in every year. So I call them Dore. So let's see if we'll get me so my Dore, they are very different even how they operate. So I want to be very intentional with how I operate. I understand and grow with each one as an individual. One is more bubbly, the other one is not, the other one speaks a lot, the other one doesn't. So in that context, it means they are created in a different way. So I have to understand each one of them. One loves movies, I'll take them for movies. The other one loves shopping, I'll take them for shopping. So I think that's what I'm anticipating to see, growing with each one of them individually. As God has.
Oh wow, thank you so much. I think the gist of it all is I think communication and dealing with each child individually. Let's move on to our question or comment from Agnes. Agnes is my mother's namesake.
My comment goes to Sally and her mom. I feel encouraged today. I'm also I was a teen mother to a CP child. He's now resting, and I'm currently a caregiver to a sickle cell warrior. My daughter is 12. Thank you so much, Sally, for the good work you are doing. I feel encouraged.
My name is Esther. I'd want to comment and compliment Dr. Lucy, Dr. Pastor Lucy, and Jewel. Thank you for being an example that even pastors' kids can blend together, mother and daughter. And also, Mom, for being giving yourself to God. And as your daughter said, you're available to the congregations. God bless you for that, and thank you very much.
My name is Stella. I would really like to take this opportunity to congratulate Monica. You've done such a great job. I love what you've done with Sally. Sally, you are precious. God bless you. Daktari, Mama Jewel, I admire you. You are selfless, and how you've raised your children, and now we have Jewel to see. Now a question to both the panel, that is Mama Sally, Mama Jewel, and Jewel herself. Most of the time, women get different experiences around motherhood. So how would you define your motherhood? Has it been fun? Has it been a roller coaster? Has it been something that you look back and say, I wish I knew this earlier. I wish I was taught this earlier. Because for me, I am a mom of one, and I think motherhood has evolved throughout the generation. And I think it's totally different. It's different. It's harder for me right now as a millennial. So for you, how has it been? How will you define it? Is it different? And Jewel, is it easier for you now because you have a mom? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. For me, I think I just want to thank God. I really don't have regrets. I think I have done the best I could. I'm still on the way. So bado naomba Mungu anisaidie niwalee vizuri zaidi. But it is easier now when they are adults, unlike when they were young. When they were young, it was tough. But right now, as adults, I think we are friends and we are doing good.
Thank you so much. So how has parenting evolved for you? Comparing to, yes, Mama Dr. Sally, Mama Dr. Mama Jewel.
I think for me, I would say, as I said at the beginning, I think parenting or motherhood is a journey. And every stage has its highs, very good moments, and sometimes not very good moments. And therefore, I'd say, please take it one day at a time. When they are young, there are quite some challenges that come in there. That's a time you may not be financially stable. That's the time you're looking, your career and all that. Then when they are teenagers, well, that's another university that you need to go to. But then it also has its many joys. Yeah. And then now adulthood again has its own challenges. And, she says it's easy. I don't think it is. And there are still things we are working on, trying to understand each other. So I would say it's a journey. You will have to evolve yourself. Yes, not your children evolving, but you yourself evolving to be able to cope and adapt.
So for me, it's easier. But the truth is, having to give birth 2 years in a row was a mess for me. Yeah. And I think that gave me so much resilience and, push towards becoming a better version for myself, for my children. Yes. Not for anyone else, just for me and my children. Yeah. But now the dynamics is now as an adult, because I'm turning 30, as an adult it's more difficult now. So I tell her things and she tells me things. Not that we hate each other, but it's just that she wants to see the best version of me and I want to see the best version of her. Because I have siblings under me, so if she's not the best version, we cannot understand her and she can't understand us.
I think my challenge to parents today is learn how to evolve with your children at whatever stage. We're not talking, parenting does not end when they get to 18, it carries on. So as you get to your 20s, evolve with as they get to the 20s, evolve with them, their 30s, evolve with them. And remember, there's no blueprints on how to be a good daughter, and there's no handbook on how to be a good mother. We all do the best we can, and we hope for the best. So we have definitely come to the end of an extremely illuminating conversation today. This is definitely the first part of our Mother's Day special. Please make sure that you tune in to the second part. But of course, on behalf of our location partner, Panari Hotel, the production team at KBC, myself, Ashiko Mbune, and my wonderful, wonderful, gracious panel and audience here at Panari, I wish you all a happy Mother's Day, and I'll catch you same time, same place next week. But for now, goodbye.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
The bottom-up economic transformation agenda is not just a plan on paper.
Manifesto tulioandika na tukauzia Wakenya na wakatupigia kura, sio gazeti ya kufunga nyama.
It is happening on the ground across Kenya.
Enda subabogi Moriega Jodhurwa unjie Mugani Hamjambo.
In agriculture.
Turkana wameamkia mambo ya ukulima sasa.
On our roads.
Lami black anaingia hapa anagausha hapa. Wacha bana.
In health.
All our patients are in SHA 100%.
In housing.
Kutoka nyumba za mabati kuleta nyumba kama hii ya ghorofa ni kitu mzuri sana.
In our markets.
Umetukumbuka sisi mama mboga. Shida zetu umezitatua.
And so much more.
It's a good thing the government inakuja mashinani na this is all what we have been requesting.
This is transformation. This is impact. This is delivering the plan. Every Friday on KBC Channel 1.
Do you know what's inside that prepackaged food? Those unhealthy ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt or unhealthy fats can lead to diseases.
According to the Ministry of Health, approximately 39% of all deaths in Kenya are as a result of non-communicable diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cancer and high blood pressure. The foods and drinks we consume every day can affect our health more than we realize.
Clear information on packages about what's in our food can help us have a healthy diet. From the Food Policy Coalition Kenya.
It is the 13th of May 2026, so just in time for news updates, stories that have been making headlines not just in the world of politics, but also what is happening in business and sports. Further on, Kenya has unveiled her candidate for the ICC position, while Nairobi matatu operators have blamed the recent spate of attacks on the Kamagera gangs. Just a quick sneak peek onto what we have on Prime Edition tonight.
Supreme Court Judge Njoki Ndongo's ICC bid. Kenya formally unveiled its candidate with President William Ruto rallying global support.
Is it not because this gentleman was in your hospital to hide away from the service? You are not sick. I put it to you.
Let me laugh a little bit first.
Gachagwa's impeachment case. Cardiologist Dan Kibuga Gekonyo says a former deputy president's hospital admission was not a plot to avert parliament sessions. Kamagera gangs on the loose. Nairobi matatu operators accuse bus stage touts of attacks and extortion.
Good evening once again. I'm Regina Manyara and my colleague is none other than Lensa Odinga there on sign language. This is midweek news on Prime Edition. Now, Kenya has formally unveiled its candidate for the International Criminal Court bench, with President William Ruto rallying global support for Supreme Court Judge Njoki Ndongo. Speaking at State House Nairobi, the president framed the bid as a push to strengthen fairness, credibility, and African representation in international justice. The nomination now sets the stage for a diplomatic campaign ahead of the elections to the International Criminal Court for the 2027-2036 term.
Kenya is stepping onto the global legal stage, presenting Justice Njoki Ndung'u as its official candidate for election to the International Criminal Court.
By presenting one of our most accomplished and distinguished jurists, the Honorable Lady Justice Susan Njoki Ndung'u.
President William Ruto used the launch to mount a broader defense of the ICC, stressing that its legitimacy depends on fairness, independence and equal application of the law, amid long-standing criticism of perceived bias in global justice systems.
I have listened very carefully to the track record of Njoki Ndung'u, and I have carefully also listened to her vision about what she wants to do at the International Criminal Court. And they are persuasive, coherent, and meaningful.
The president also pushed for stronger African representation, arguing the continent must move from being the subject of international justice to shaping its direction, especially as many ICC cases have involved African nations.
Africa, therefore, cannot remain merely the subject of international justice. Africa must help shape international justice. And I believe firmly that the candidature of Lady Justice Njoki Ndung'u is going to achieve this end.
Justice Ndung'u's candidature is anchored on decades of legal and constitutional experience, from prosecuting serious crimes to shaping Kenya's 2010 constitution and serving on the Supreme Court.
The judiciary invited expressions of interest from all judges of the superior courts, subjected the applications to rigorous evaluation by the Judicial Service Commission, and transmitted the 3 recommended candidates for consideration by His Excellency the President.
At a very personal level, on behalf of the government of Kenya, you have our endorsement, support, and we are going to campaign for you.
Her track record in advancing gender justice and legal reforms, including key legislation on sexual offences, is expected to form a central pillar of Kenya's speech to ICC member states.
There are moments when we stand together as a nation, irrespective of all other considerations. This is one such moment.
Kenya is now set to lobby state parties to the Rome Statute to back Ndung'u's bid in what could see the country secure a seat on one of the world's most influential judicial bodies. If elected, Justice Njoki Ndung'u will serve a 9-year term at the ICC as Kenya seeks to cement its role in shaping global justice and accountability. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
We'll continue keeping tabs on that particular development. Now, the growing threat of misinformation, fake news and manipulation of online content took center stage Wednesday at the 2026 Pan-African Media Summit kicked off in Nairobi. Addressing the delegates, Broadcasting and Telecommunications Principal Secretary Stephen Iseboke said Africa must urgently strengthen information integrity systems to protect democracy, public confidence and credibility in the digital era.
Calls to tame the rapid rising of unregulated digital platforms dominated the opening session of the annual Pan-African Media Summit, with stakeholders cautioning about the eroding of public trust and threat to democracy as a result of false information.
Suddenly now, we are not, it is in less than 1% of the world are people accessing whether they can access information. It is the integrity of that information that is at stake and that we must reflect about.
And the consequences are real. The quality of the public debate, the trust in institutions, the security of elections are all affected.
In his opening remarks, Broadcasting and Telecommunications Principal Secretary Stephen Iseboke told delegates that the digital revolution has largely influenced how information is produced, distributed and consumed, hence the need to rethink regulation and accountability mechanisms.
The future African media ecosystem must therefore reset on 3 pillars. Number 1, trust, safeguarding credibility and public confidence in the information systems.
PS Saboke noted that with the expansion of technology, the society is more exposed to dangerous misinformation. According to the PS, many Kenyans are still struggling to distinguish genuine journalism from AI-generated content, creating what he termed a serious verification gap.
We really have to choose truth in the midst of all this confusion, especially when there's so much, sometimes deep fakes and all that, and sometimes you have to fact check before you actually authenticate whether what you're reading online is fact or fake.
In Africa, we have witnessed how coordinated disinformation campaign distort public policy debates and public policy in making, scare away investment.
Governments must protect the information environment without restricting legitimate speech. Technology companies must design and operate their platforms in ways that do not reward deception or hatred.
The summit, which brings together journalists, editors, regulators, policymakers, and technology experts from across the globe, continues tomorrow with discussions expected to focus on AI governance and media sustainability, among others. Joseph Wahungu for Prime Edition.
The era of information and misinformation. Now, cardiologist Dan Kibuga Gekonyo was tasked to explain whether the admission of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to Karen Hospital was a plot to shield him from attending impeachment sessions in Parliament. Dr. Gekonyo, who also disclosed that he has been a personal doctor to Gachagua for 20 years, defended his summary of the medical document that had been contested by the August House and Senate. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, the courtroom was lit in laughter several times during the cross-examination as the cardiologist humorously clarified the identity of the patient RG, among other issues.
Rigathi Gachagua once again arrived in court for the third time since his impeachment proceedings began, accompanied by his wife and political allies. Shortly after, a senior cardiologist, Dr. Dan Gekonyo, who had been summoned last week to appear, took to the witness box for cross-examination.
And what is the discharge date given in the medical summary? November. That's actually 34 days later.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
You have now attempted in your exam-in-chief to explain the discrepancy.
Not attempting, I did explain.
Okay.
Counsel Muthomi Thiankolu poked holes in the use of the initial RG by the cardiologist on medical records, arguing it did not clearly identify the anonymity of the patient.
And we mean patient RG, whose identity we don't know.
Which I can confirm.
It would mean that this patient would have been discharged on or before 20th October 2024. Correct or incorrect?
Or a month later?
We are following the documents, sir. Your paragraph says he was admitted for how long? 48 to 72?
Sir, please read correctly. Recommended.
Dr. Gekonyo was also tasked to explain whether he was a conduit of hiding Gachagua from the impeachment sessions.
Have you attached the images?
Let me laugh a little bit first.
Trust me, I too have been laughing about it.
On their part, the National Assembly and the Senate councils in the afternoon submitted that public participation was done to the maximum threshold.
None of the members of parliament complained that the views of the deputy speaker influenced the decision that was made by way of voting.
The respondents also want the petitioner fined for stating the internal standing orders relied on by the two houses during impeachment are unconstitutional.
Had the Senate proceeded by way of special committee, the committee would be acting as an agent of the House. And the standing orders, my lords, reinforce that committees consider matters and report back to the House. And usually, when a committee undertakes the work of impeachment, for instance, the report then would be tabled in the House for adoption or rejection, my lord.
They further urges the court to dismiss the case and not to interfere with the discretion exercised by the Senate impeachment chamber.
All the petitioners are saying are speculations and they are not anchored on any basis. On that ground, we urge you to dismiss their issues as raised in their petitions and most obliged.
In the case, Gachagua wants compensation for the time cut short in the DP's office, benefits accrued and damages. The hearing continues Thursday, 14th May 2026. With the parliament distancing itself from acting as a lynch mob of the executive to the former DP, Gachagua's legal team maintains that the House erred in law by conducting the impeachment the plenary way. All eyes are now set on the three-judge bench to balance the wheels of justice. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani's High Court.
Now from the courts to matters transport, where matatu operators in Nairobi are now urging authorities to save them from alleged illegal gangs operating at bus stops by the nickname Kamagera, who they accuse of forcefully obtaining money from PSVs. They also allege that traffic police officers have continued to extort their businesses, leaving them with no or little earnings.
A video of the alleged Kamagera members operating in Kasarani, Mweki and Njiro in action as they collect money from matatu operators has gone viral. The video further shows the touts engaging with the matatu operators, perhaps demanding their share after a few passengers board the said matatu. This is the predicament of most matatus plying Nairobi routes.
Serikali tafadhali ikuje ituondolea watu. Sababu wale abiria wanakuweka kwa stages. Kila abiria anajuanga mahali anaenda. Na zile gari zinasuburiwa sana ni za MNK sako. Ukishukisha hutabeba.
In Kasarani, Mweki and Njiro routes, the situation is no better. Matatu operators are decrying harassment by the groups they term as gangs nicknamed Kamagera.
Ukibeba mtu lazima uachie pesa. Ukikosa wanakupiga, na si wamepiga watu wengi. Walinitoka nyuma kama siwaoni. Sasa kunitoka nyuma wamekuja kama wamenipalilia, wamenioga kichwa, wakaniogea hapa nikaanguka chini.
Kudrop tu ni mtu nilikuwa na drop, hata si kubeba. Hao jamaa hao Kamagera alitokea na kuanza kunipiga. Nikimuuliza nini tunasumbuana, ananiuliza usiushuke, si ubaki hapo ujue je tunaulizana. Mimi walinipiga mangumi huku kwa kichwa, huku si mara, unaona. Ilikuwa tu kijana, lakini ukiangalia ukibishana naye kuna mavijana wengine hapo kando, watakuja tu na wewe uko peke yako, watakudhulumu zaidi.
The groups of young men are stationed at every bus station or matatu stage, as widely called, along the various routes where they will demand payment per every PSV vehicle.
Kama example, mimi niko na PSV badge, nimeruhusiwa nifanye kazi ya matatu. Bila hii PSV huwezi fanya kazi bila PSV. Mwenye anakupiga ana PSV, hajui charge zetu tunapitia kwa mlango tukibeba watu. Pesa mingi yenye tunawachia, yani ukibeba watu wawili wanataka uachie mbao na wabebe huyo mtu na mbao. Sasa unaona, sasa huwezi kuna kazi, pesa yenye tunapata ni kidogo sana.
Matatu operators demand action from the government to crack down on the menace.
Ile shida tumepitia hapa na hii watu wa Kamagera ni mingi. Wametuzubua sana. Na polisi hawana taarifa. Unadungwa kisu, anasema uchukue OB. Chukua ingine. Kile hapa kuna watu wengi sana wamejaza maobi kwa mfuko.
The matatu business is further suffering from huge extortions by rogue traffic police officers. We managed to record several officers seemingly collecting the bribes from matatu conductors. Kasarani OCPD Nicholas Kiprono, in a phone interview, confirmed they have already started an operation to wipe out the Kamagera menace and the police bribes and return sanity on the roads.
Hiyo siku nafikiri sasa kabla wakamatwe, hiyo wakanyage hapo. Unajua tangu tukamate ile ingine wako ndani ile siku ni wewe ndio ulikuja hapa hiyo siku. Tulipeleka hao na marobari pilipili kila mtu wako ndani.
Give us Maina Prime Edition.
That indeed was quite the report there by our very own Give Us On Mine in regard to that matter, and we hope that the authorities actually stem that particular vice, not just within Kasarani, but also across various bus termini across the country. We take a fast breather here on Prime Edition. We'll be back with more. Do not go away.
Nairobi, your time is now. Masani ya kutoka vlog na KBC imeamua lazima uomoke. Tutakuwa tunakaa mtaa yako kukuomosha very fast. Jibu maswali zangu 3 tuone kama kweli wewe ni true fan wa KBC Channel 1. Na ukizipata 25K ni yako. So make sure una watch KBC Channel 1. Alafu kinicheki kwa streets. Niulize kana kuomosha leo. Omoka na KBC Channel 1. Wanga bad ni mbaya.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Alhamisi ya tarehe 14 mwezi Mei tunazuru eneo la Isiolo. Msafara wetu utaanzia katika eneo la Bula Pesa. Kisha tuingie sokoni, Pepo la Tumaini, Soko Mjinga, KPLC, Red Cross, alafu tapenyeza hadi Burata. Baadaye tutaelekea katika eneo la Ngaremara. Tarehe 30 Juni iko mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Welcome back to Semana Spokes, Bonganagava.
Semana Spokes is the platform where Wananchi engage, query the government, and the government responds. It's your time to be informed. Don't miss Bonganagava every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Semana Spokes.
Good evening. This is Prime Edition. Now, the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya are calling for stricter regulation of land and build sector to enhance safety, professionalism and accountability. They have also called for the creation of a regulatory body to monitor institutions offering training to ensure equality. ISK President Eric Nyandimo, who was speaking at the opening of the Geospatial and Real Estate Conference in Mombasa County, said Kenya is witnessing the increase of individuals purporting to be surveyors who are being used by profiteers to dupe unsuspecting Kenyans to invest in real estate only for them to lose their investment.
Demolitions have become a common phenomenon in Kenya, and ordinary Kenyans are often left to pick up the pieces as their years of savings and toil tumble. The sorry state of affairs have raised concern among surveyors of Kenya, who are now calling for the amendment of the Commission of Higher Education Act to have professional bodies have a say in sector regulations.
There's no need of parents spending a lot of money educating their children on courses that at the end of the day they cannot be registered. This is something that needs to be arrested, and there's no need of creating many bodies at the end of the day which do not help in this particular process.
ISK President says unless the issue of quacks is decisively handled, the real estate sector will continue to suffer a trust deficit. ISK is also proposing data-driven and sustainable approaches to land and property management, bringing on board tools like artificial intelligence, adoption of space technology for environmental mapping, among other emerging technologies.
One of our greatest weaknesses as a country is execution of what we decide to do. We decide to do something, we come up with policies, but execution becomes a problem.
If we can make some amendments to the laws that we have, we can be able to police the industry better.
Deputy Head of Public Service Amos Gadecha, who represented the Head of Public Service at the event, challenged surveyors to remain steadfast, saying the profession cannot fully escape blame.
I've told the EACC to investigate land registrar because there's an outcry where that officer is. And preliminary investigation is showing that the officer has over 1,000 acres of land. Yeah? Many houses stranded all over wherever the officer has worked. And you wonder, how has that officer been able to accumulate all that?
The inaugural conference under the theme Shaping Kenya's Geospatial and Real Estate Future seeks to explore emerging trends, challenges and transformative opportunities in Kenya's land and real estate sector.
Now, the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy has pleaded with Kenyans to embrace laws adopted to secure the online space. Cabinet Secretary for ICT, William Kabogo, while responding to concerns raised by senators on safety of the internet space as the country gears towards the electioneering period, said though the ministry is putting in place measures to address misuse and abuse of the internet space, challenges still abound, citing ongoing court cases around certain proposed laws. The CS was also put to task to explain why only 15 out of the 224 gambling firms in the country were registered.
Wednesday morning, the Cabinet Secretary for ICT, William Kabogo, appeared before the Senate.
Honorable CS, welcome back to the Senate.
Concerns around safety of the internet space took center stage, with senators expressing fears of cyberbullying as political temperatures rise.
Madam Speaker, I have seen one of our colleagues being exposed here, fighting, being beaten to the ground. And then another AI-generated thing showing him beating his opponent. It's becoming nasty. What is the
Senator,
ministry
your question
doing?
is very...
Yours truly is actually, I am a culprit this week, Mr. Speaker, where something is circulating social media that I was in a place somewhere, I can remind, I don't know what it was, Mr. Speaker. Somebody pretending to have voice impias like Kaduri Murungi, which is not myself, Mr. Speaker.
A very serious concern, yes. Many of us have suffered. Mr. Speaker, this is the one that I said we're having issues on taking down those things that, for example, what I have seen that you referred to because of the current court case. We are trying to lift that ban in court so that we can start doing it. But our hands are tied at the moment. But between us and the regulators and those that are involved, there is something the ministry is doing to make sure that we can put a stop to them before they are aired.
The CS was also put to task to explain why only 15 out of 224 gambling firms in the country were registered.
I would want to know exactly who is supposed to deregister.
Because they are out there collecting data from Kenyan citizens and mostly Kenyan minors.
Changamoto, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kuwa kila sheria ikiwekwa na ni sheria nzuri, wa Kenya hukimbia kotini haraka na kuweza kusimamisha. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, nipeane ahadi hapa katika bunge la Senate kuwa wizara itakabiliana na shida hizi.
On public Wi-Fi said to be non-operational, the CS cited maintenance challenges, pledging to upgrade the system.
What we have proposed and are doing now in the ministry on the issue of public Wi-Fi, Mr. Speaker, is to give this Wi-Fi business to the young boys and girls where they are, for them to maintain on a small fee of about 5 shillings for anyone who wants to use this Wi-Fi. It's now undergoing public participation.
State House had requested 20 billion shillings to fund its operations across the state lodges in the country for the financial year 2026-2027. Appearing before the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security, State House Comptroller Kato Olemetito stated that the Treasury had allocated 13 billion shillings, resulting in a shortfall of 7 billion shillings. In the last financial year, State House was allocated 17 billion shillings. The comptroller further defended the recent cost of renovating State House Nairobi, noting that the changes were necessary. Kato further revealed plans to renovate other state lodges every financial year. In the current financial year, Kato says their focus is on renovating the lodges in Mombasa and Eldoret, as well as Kisumu and Nakuru lodges respectively. Kato further revealed that they have reacquired a 100-acre piece of land that was initially grabbed to build a state lodge in Kakamega County.
In the attainment of its performance targets, it goes without saying, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee, that with limited resource allocation and such a big shortfall of 7.2 billion, definitely we will be affected in our deliverables and also in implementation of these programs in terms of our work plan. Now, State House, as now the house you feel proud as Kenyans when you receive presidents, instead of looking at the positives, they look at the cost. How much did it cost to do it? To actually do, to transform the facelift. That is Mombasa and Eldoret. The problem we are having is, as I said, they are very old.
Do you know what's inside that prepackaged food? Those unhealthy ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt or unhealthy fats can lead to diseases.
According to the Ministry of Health, approximately 39% of all deaths in Kenya are as a result of non-communicable diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cancer and high blood pressure. The foods and drinks we consume every day can affect our health more than we realize.
Clear information on packages about what's in our food can help us have a healthy diet. From the Food Policy Coalition Kenya.
Looking for sisterhood? Craving solidarity? Ready for a space where every woman belongs? Then Dada's Show is the show for you. As we discuss real issues, support one another, and celebrate womanhood the Dada's Show way.
Your courier's here.
That was quick. It's fine. No pressure, no pressure. But she really needs someone to go with her today. I know, I'll go. Nana, come here. Come help me out.
You stay there.
No.
Just stay there.
Do you listen to my mom or to me?
When you're around, to you. When she's around, to her.
You traitor.
Residents of Laikipia County were on Wednesday. They braved the rains and chilly weather to update their records with the taxman. Despite the dampened mood, hundreds of taxpayers were assisted by the Kenya Revenue Authority staff to file their returns through the newly unveiled self-care plan. KRA and its media partner, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, are conducting a public sensitization campaign for taxpayers dubbed the Jijue Jibete, with the caravan having several stops in Matanya, Ishuga, Baraka, Old Market, Lekki and Nanyuki Town. Taxpayers have been called upon to leverage on the self-help plan to file their returns before the lapse of the June 30th deadline. KBC, they're undertaking one of its mandate, that is to inform there. Now, caregivers, persons with disability, policymakers and government officials have gathered in Nairobi County for a two-day national dialogue aimed at advancing disability inclusion in Kenya. The forum, being held at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, seeks to strengthen policy implementation and amplify the voices of persons living with disabilities. Our reporter Aaron Marie attended the event and has the details.
A renewed push for a more inclusive Kenya is taking shape, where stakeholders from across the country have converged at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD, for a two-day forum. The event was officially opened by the chief guest Michael Monene, the chief executive officer of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities.
As Huduma Kenya, we've embraced inclusion as per the Article 10 of the Constitution, where inclusiveness is a requirement.
The role of caregivers featured prominently, highlighting their critical role in supporting persons with disabilities and calling for greater recognition and support systems.
And we can never forget our caregivers. They play a very big role in the society to transform the lives of persons with disabilities.
Representatives from the Huduma Kenya team outlined reforms already introduced to make government services more accessible.
Tomorrow we'll be having the major conference where we'll be launching disability report and also having high-level engagement from the national government, county government, various stakeholders, so that we can be able to discuss and synchronize and understand matters of disability.
For many participants living with disabilities, the forum provided a platform to be heard.
Mambo mengi huwa yanapangwa ambayo persons with disability huanga tunakuwa nyuma nayo, hatunanga information. So that's why nimejisacrifice nikuje ndio nisikize.
They noted that concerns raised during previous national dialogues had already been translated into real policy changes.
Mwenye alikuwa last year na nikiona this year at least kuna change.
As the discussion is expected to continue, Delegate says the goal is clear, building a Kenya where inclusion is not an inspiration but a lived reality for all. The National Dialogue of People with Disability has kicked off today as partners and people living with disability come together to celebrate the progress and also mark out the challenges that they are facing as people with disability. For Prime Edition, I'm Aaron Marie.
The government will increase budget allocation towards science, research and innovation from the current 0.78% to 1% to ensure research findings address societal challenges in health, education, agriculture and other sectors. Speaking during the unveiling of a knowledge hub at the Africa Population and Health Research Center, the Principal Secretary for Science, Research and Innovation, Professor Shaukat Abdul Razak, disclosed that underfunding has hindered research, making it difficult to address the societal challenges due to inadequate data. The Executive Director of the institution, Dr. Catherine Kyobutunge, emphasized that the hub offers an inclusive platform to converge ideas, where converging ideas and partnerships do happen, as well as generate African solutions to address African challenges.
Near government and partners, we are doing about 0.78% of the GDP. If you look at the Science, Technology, Innovation Act of 2013, we are talking of 2% of the GDP. The African Union made a declaration that every African countries need to spend at least 1%. So Kenya, we are not badly off, so to speak. So the gap is that from 0.78 to 1% of the GDP, moving to 2% of the GDP.
The last, I would say, 5 years, we've been trying to see how to really engineer the African research and development ecosystem. And that's not an easy mandate, knowing the challenges that the research and development ecosystem faces on the continent. So we are trying to see how do we engineer the system that generates science, whether it's within academic institutions like universities, whether it's within research institutions, but also how do we make sure that we connect universities and academics with communities who have the problems, who understand problems better, and also government which understands problems better, so that we don't do science for the sake of science.
to Matters Environment now, where the conversation on climate resilience and agroecology is gaining prominence in Kenya. The national multi-stakeholder dialogue bringing together farmers, policymakers, researchers and civil society groups to discuss climate resilience, food security and access to climate financing is ongoing in Nairobi. The dialogue aims to bridge the gap by helping farmers understand how local experiences can influence national policies and global climate processes. Here's Teresa Mutai with the details.
During an event in Ruiru, agricultural stakeholders launched a new training manual to help farmers understand how to access climate funding opportunities. Faith Ngige, the national coordinator for the Kenya Platform for Climate Governance, noted that farmers have often contributed to policy discussions at county and national level, but many say their voices are rarely reflected in final decision.
They have made inputs to policy processes at the county and the national level, but unfortunately most of their submissions or inputs are never considered. So this workshop was about showing them how the national processes and the international processes affects the policies at the local level, and how the practice at the local level should influence what happens at the both national and also at the international level.
When many voices come together, there is something that happens, and for this is evidence in Machakos, where there was no any agroecology strategy, and now they have started the process.
Engineer Laban Kiplagat, the Agriculture Engineering Secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, noted that climate change continues to heavily affect smallholder farmers across Kenya, many of whom lack the resources to adapt effectively.
Sometimes we would require also the farmers to know how to agitate for their rightful share. And one of the ways they are going to do that is to have this manual that can help them to see how they can also be part and parcel of the conversation of the climate finance that is going on. Different organizations have got funds, but how it reaches a grassroots farmer has been a bit difficult.
We're able to put together a manual that then tells them how they can access these fundings, the pathways and the entry points, as well as how to navigate the complex process of climate financing.
Charles Mwangi, the head of programs at Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance, highlighted agroecology as key solution to improving agricultural productivity while building resilience.
The most important thing that we need to address are unsustainable agricultural production techniques, and that is why agroecology becomes so important. We have been also pushing for financing of agriculture within the framework of adaptation.
Ni umuhimu mashirika yasiyo ya serikali na serikali iweze pia kutenga fedha za kuweza kufadhili implementation of agroecology, ili huyu mkulima yale ambayo yako katika hiyo document iweze kuwa implemented.
Climate justice advocates are now calling for increased adaptations financing in the form of grants to support vulnerable communities.
Stakeholders note that financing is key in combating effects of climate change in the agricultural sector. For Prime Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
That now officially takes us to business, where the future of the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives hangs in the balance, with the government saying it faces liquidation. Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya has told the Senate that the giant umbrella circle is insolvent due to huge debt and mounting claims.
Once the pride of the savings and cooperative unions, the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives has fallen from grace to grass due to years of misrule and mismanagement. Last year, Cusco was placed under receivership after it failed to meet its financial and legal obligations. The government now appears ready to deal with the final blow to the union, with intentions to sell its assets and register the company.
What the ministry is going to do, it will put in the newspapers the 2,000 SACCOs that have responded, by making sure that their returns are up to date. And they will give 30 days to the balance of 12,000 to respond If they don't respond in 30 days, we'll assume they are either inactive or they are not there, they are not operating, and therefore they will be clearly deregistered.
Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya has told the Senate that the funds raised for the union will be used to settle debts owed by the company.
Sasa ilikuwa iangalie wale SACCOs ambao wana mali ya milioni 100 kwenda mbele. Ile recommendation ambayo imekuja sasa imesema shilingi ikiwa kwa banki na shilingi ambayo iko kwa cooperative siko sawa. Kwa hivyo mamlaka ya sasa imepanuliwa ili iangalie cooperative zote. Hakuna iangalie ile ya 100 peke yake na iwache hizi zingine kwa sababu shilingi ni shilingi.
Oparanya has further told the legislators that the government is pursuing hustler fund defaulters to ensure the sustainability of the revolving fund. Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
The Cooperative Bank has reported 8.4 billion shillings in net profit during the first 3 months of 2026, representing a growth of 21.3%. The profit was mainly driven by a 12.2% rise in net interest income that hit 15.98 billion shillings, underpinned by robust lending activity.
Cooperative Bank booked 436.8 billion shillings in net loans and advances during the first 3 months of this year, which was a growth of 13.6%. The increase in net loans and advances contributed to a 14.3% rise in total assets, which now stands at 884.6 billion shillings. The bank disbursed 19.11 billion shillings in digital lending during the first 3 months of this year, pushing up the cumulative digital loans issued through the platform to over 520 billion shillings. Despite operating expenses increasing by 8.4%, the bank recorded a pre-tax profit of 11.37 billion shillings. The lender saw its customer deposits increase 16.6% to 612.2 billion shillings. Cooperative Bank Group Managing Director Gideon Muriuki says the bank's performance underscores its resilience in a competitive banking sector and positions it to support both individual and corporate clients through the year. Muriuki says with a growing customer base and strong lending momentum, Cooperative Bank is well placed to maintain profitability while continuing to invest in digital platforms and branch expansion across Kenya. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Now, as the debate rages on the suitable location for a major oil refinery, Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote says he plans to invest 2.2 trillion shillings in the petroleum industry within the East African region. Dangote says he hasn't settled on the location, but Kenya offers better prospects due to proper supporting infrastructure. The planned refinery will have a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. Brian Kimani spoke exclusively to the Nigerian billionaire on the sidelines of the Africa Forward Summit that came to an end on Tuesday evening.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here. You have shown interest in investing in Kenya's petroleum industry. Can you tell us more information about that?
I think it is not Kenya, it is East African refining hub, which we want to set up here. We want to take crude from Uganda, the crude from Ethiopia, crude from Southern Sudan, so that we stop exporting our raw materials and importing finished goods. So what we are trying to do is to set up the refinery to serve all the East African countries so that they can become self-sufficient. You can see what is happening today in the Strait of Hormuz, where now we've been suffocated of getting petroleum products. So these are the sort of things that we want to do. You know, our group has about $45 billion to invest between now and 2030. And that's why we're looking at doing infrastructure. We're doing quite a lot of things. And hopefully we will try to make sure that this refinery, by the grace of God, if we come to an agreement, we sign an investment agreement, we will start it this year.
Do you have any preferred country where within the East African region you would want to set up?
We're actually looking, I don't want to say that right now, but we're looking at the best location that makes sense.
Location that makes sense. Do you have a figure that you are willing to invest in the East African region? Like,
this refinery will cost us $17 billion.
$17 billion.
Oh yeah, it's single largest train in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are you looking at any other investable project within the East African region?
Either in the ports also. We have some key areas. Once we have that, we'll invest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, that is Africa's richest man, Alingo Dangote, there giving us a sneak preview of what he wants to invest within East Africa. He says he's willing to invest in the petroleum industry as well as any other sector in the region, as well as long as there is that political goodwill.
So, who will carry the day? Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, or the rest? We are definitely rooting for Kenya. Now to matters tea, where the Kenya Tea Board targets to collect 1.2 billion shillings annually with the new tea levy. The board's chief executive officer, Willie Mutai, says the funds from the levy will be pooled in a stabilization fund that will be used to run the board's operations, equip tea factories and brand, as well as market Kenyan tea.
The Kenya Tea Board says it has integrated its systems with the Kenya Revenue Authority to start deducting the tea levy from buyers. The board insists it will continue with plans to introduce the levy on total sales despite protests from buyers, including those from key markets, saying the subsector needs capital injection to run administrative operations.
Will you write and override a rule of a country, a law of a country? Because it's a law. A Tea Board of Kenya cannot write to another country and say that that law that you have put is wrong.
The board's chief executive officer, Willie Mutai, says buyers will bear the cost of the levy in a bid to shield small-scale farmers from reduced earnings.
Our branded Kenya tea in your country at $24, and you are paying us $3.
The regulator says it vacated its earlier decision to peg the levy at 1 shilling per kilo as a tax equality measure.
If you say you're going to levy 1 shilling, a person who goes and sells their tea at that 1 shilling, are you going to charge them the entire levy of 1 shilling?
The levy is projected to collect 1.2 billion shillings annually, with the funds consolidated in a stabilization fund.
50% of what you collect, as per the law, is going for income stabilization fund, which the stakeholders now will be engaging on who contributed the highest to that kitty. That's that one that we are working.
15% of the funds will be used to run the board's operations, with the remaining amount used to build infrastructure, equip and modernize tea factories in the country.
Farmers will benefit, and the price will have to shift up from the farmer, because the law says 75% you should pay to the farmer.
Benson Rioba, reporting for Prime Edition.
Now, for the better part of last week, we were in Isiolo and Meru County, just following up on matters of infrastructure and the overall import it would have on social-economic development. Now, the new infrastructure projects are opening up the counties of Meru and Isiolo for tourism, investment, leveraging on wildlife, cultural and adventure attractions. The Eastern Tourism Circuit framework spotlights these historically overlooked counties as hubs for ecotourism and heritage experiences.
For decades, parts of the counties of Isiolo and Meru have not fully tapped their tourism potential despite their vast ecological, cultural and wildlife attractions.
First of all, Isiolo is at the center of a country, of a Kenya, in that matter. There are a lot to enjoy here in Isiolo. We have Isiolo Airport, which is just some few, like 2 kilometers from here. We have other things. We have on your way to Marsabit, we have Samburu National Park.
Poor road conditions and limited connectivity have led to long travel hours and high transport costs, which have impacted the region as a tourist destination. However, this is steadily changing, with the ongoing Horn of Africa Gateway Development Project expected to redirect travel to lower eastern and northern frontier tourism circuits.
This road being positioned where it is, it's going to open us to huge potential that is in the north.
Isiolo is positioned at the intersection of the Lamu Port South Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor, the Isiolo-Mandera Highway and routes connecting Kenya to Ethiopia and Somalia.
Those projects, we have one advantage because we have accommodations and we have so many people who are coming from Nairobi, from Marsabit, especially the engineers, those people who are in the project, the business people, they come and spend here. They also come and they come with their families. Most of them come with their families because, as I've told you earlier, we have several incentives like swimming.
Scenic routes linking Isiolo to Samburu and Marsabit are increasingly being highlighted for adventure tourism, rock climbing, photography tourism, and overland travel experiences.
Place is good. The ambience itself, it's good. So it's one of the best places to be. There is no need of you going to Naivasha and the rest of the places, but Isiolo is the best place to be. That one you can bear witness.
The project is stimulating service sector demand along towns along the corridor.
Right in front of me is this particular piece of infrastructure that links Kenya to Ethiopia, and to my right, that links Somalia to Kenya. Once this particular project is complete, it no longer talks about connectivity, but also gives the people of Kenya, and especially this region, a lifeline of social-economic development.
So the State Department of Agriculture, the State Department of Mining, the State Department of Lands and Physical Planning, all of them have to begin thinking in one direction so that we are able to do something out of the ordinary to spur the development and the economic well-being of this area, of course supported by the road infrastructure as it should be in the bigger picture of projects.
The key component of the Horn of Africa Gateway Development Project is upgrading the 740 kilometers road corridor between Isiolo through Wajir and Mandera to bitumen standards. Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Ukazichukua ukaenda ukazibadilisha namba na ukaanza kuziuza.
Ndio liibiwa?
Mimi bado ibiwa nduthi.
Kijana yako alikwambia liibiwa na nani?
Ngo yele sikuwa na pen. Na hii pen. Pen. Apiko.
Ndio tukapata wewe anatengeneza number plate, anabadilisha, anauza.
Tembea polepole na mwendo wa haste ukienda nyumbani.
How can pikipiki swim like a fish?
Ilienda kwa mtu ikaenda ikiduguruma tu.
Mzee,
mimi ndio nilisema mvua inyeshe wakati ile uko kwa barabara.
Si wewe ulisema kwani wewe ni nyesayo, ubenyezao wala mbuli.
Wewe wahitaji watatu ili kukamilika. Mimi nahitaji wawili. Wewe pia. Hivi Pili alikuwa yazungumzia ukweli?
Ule. Uoni?
Na anafanya nini pale na Patel?
Hata mimi nashangaa.
Tusherekee kwa kuja kwa Sitara. My daughter. My daughter.
And thank you so much for staying with us. It is time for the latest from the sports world with me, Bernardo Kumu. Newly crowned world marathon record holder Sebastian Sawe has confirmed that he will defend his Berlin Marathon title on the 27th of September this year. Sawe, who became the first person to officially shatter the sub-2-hour barrier in the London Marathon with a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes and 30 seconds, aims to maintain his unbeaten record in marathon running in the streets of Berlin, where he will also be going for a new record. He won the 2025 Berlin Marathon in 2 hours, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, which was a world lead after Victoria's outing in London. He made his marathon debut in Valencia to emerge victorious with a world lead of 2 hours, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And Ulinzi Stars relegation woes have been compounded following their 2-0 defeat by FC Leopards during a Kenya Federation Premier League match played Wednesday at Nyayo National Stadium. Kelly Madada fired title-chasing FC Leopards into the lead after 43 minutes before Emmanuel Luangu wrapped up the win for Ingwe with 7 minutes to play. The result complicates Ulinzi Stars' chances of avoiding relegation and remains 16th on the log with 32 points. Ulinzi, the 2010 Premier League champions, must win their remaining league matches against Mathare United and Posta Rangers. The win boosts Leopards' hopes of clinching this year's league title and consolidated their second position on the log on 61 points, just 4 points adrift of leaders Gor Mahia. Meanwhile, in another result, Shabana lost by a solitary goal to Mara Sugar. The win catapults Mara Sugar to 8th position with 43 points, while Shabana, still searching for their first win since defeating Kakamega Homeboys on April 18th, remain 6th with 48 points.
Luangu aliruka free header. Alisiwa nguvu kabla.
Matokeo yapendezi, but hatuna otherwise. Lazima tujaribu our level best because hatuna na wakati ya kumon. So ni up to wachezaji wangu tujaribu tusawi game haraka iwezekanavyo because kuna finali zingine 3 za kucheza, tuhakikishe timu haishuki kwenye daraja ya chini. Lakini sasa unapata kuna hizo lapses zilikuwa kiasi, maybe on the flanks ndio ilikuwa lazima tutumie hapo juu, ilikuwa ukiangalia katikati walikuwa compact kidogo, so ilikuwa lazima tujaribu vile tunaweza kufunguanisha, kwa sababu ukiangalia game ikianza walikuwa kwa shape, kila time kwa shape, so ilikuwa lazima tuwafungue wide. Na tunaona ile bidi Kinyashi na Beda ni mambo at least wakae nje kabisa, at least tuweze kupata nafasi in between the center back na wing back. Ile ilikuwa tu lazima tufanye hivyo, bila hiyo tungekuwa ni ngumu.
And Jeshi Stars of Tanzania revived their chances of advancing to the knockout round of the ongoing East African Netball Club Championship after defeating Kenyatta National Hospital KNH 48-37 in their Pool B match played at Ulinzi Complex here in Nairobi. The 7-day championship has attracted a total of 13 clubs drawn from Tanzania, hosts Kenya, Uganda and Zanzibar. Kenyatta National Hospital KNH began brightly but trailed Jeshi Stars 11-12 at the end of the first quarter. Jeshi Stars widened their lead in the second and third quarters and led by 7 points heading into the fourth period. KNH attempts to mount a comeback could not materialize, eventually succumbing to the 48-37 loss. The defeat, a third straight loss for KNH, complicates their chances of making it out of the group stage.
Hakuna kitu kingine ni kujituma, kwa sababu nilikwambia wakati nilianza hii interview nilikwambia hakuna kitu rahisi hapa. Timu zote zinajituma kivyao. So pia hiyo game tunangoja next na hiyo the other last game pia still ni kujituma kabisa, kwa sababu hakuna rahisi.
Next match we are going to pull up. We are going to correct our mistakes and all shall be well.
Jeshi Stars, who registered their first win after back-to-back defeats, stay in contention for a semi-final slot.
Kwanza kabisa tulikuwa tunaanza mchezo wa kwanza, niliangalia wapinzani na mchezo wa pili. Kwa kitu ambacho tumeenda kufanyia mazoezi ni mashuta wangu, nikiza jinsi ya kucheza na madefense wa Kenya ambao ni wazuri, na pamoja na madefense wangu niwaelekeza jinsi ya kukaba mashuta wao. Kwa hiyo ndio tulifanyia mazoezi tukapata ushindi wa leo.
Ushindi huu ni umetupa sisi nguvu ya kuweza kupambana games zilizobaki na kuweza kushinda zaidi ya leo.
The week-long championship, which is set to conclude on Saturday, has brought together 13 women clubs divided into 2 groups of 5 and 6 teams each. Top 2 teams will advance to the semi-finals scheduled Friday, with the winners qualifying for the final on Saturday.
They have top quality here. Uganda, most of their, not even most, all of their team, national team players are in their clubs. So our girls have got a chance to interact and play with them. This is a championship that players are trying to showcase what they have so that their national coaches can see them and at least fit in the national team.
The women's tournament is running concurrently with the men's club competition, which has attracted a total of 6 teams battling each other in a round-robin format. And now to soccer again, where preparations for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations have been stepped up with the official opening of the local organizing committee safety and security workshop today in Nairobi, which is aimed at strengthening the country's readiness ahead of the continental tournament. Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi, alongside FKF President Hussein Mohamed, launched the workshop, bringing together key security stakeholders in a bid to strengthen the country's safety and security framework. Among those in attendance were the local organizing committee chairman Nicholas Musonye, senior security officials from the Ministry of Interior, and representatives from the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism. The stakeholders are expected to form the core safety and security committee that will be integrated into the 2027 AFCON LOC structure.
And the discussion is to look on what we need to do so that we can have safe, secure, and memorable AFCON 2027. The team is prepared to review on the successes that we registered during CHAN and the challenges.
And definitely with that story on Kenya's preparations for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations and the unveiling of the LOC and the training on safety ahead of the tournament is where I put a cap on Mate Sports this lovely evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernard Okumu.
Indeed, that puts a cap on Marta's Prime Edition this Wednesday evening. And just as we wind up, one of our viewers watching from Riru, which is in Kiambu County, by the name of Anthony, says, even in Riru town, kuna vijana wengi wanasumbua watu wakiitisha wenye magari pesa za parking, ukikataa wanatoa side mirror. Well, thank you for that particular update. Since this is a development issue in as far as matters of transport and security is concerned, our reporter Giverson Minor is definitely going to pick it up. I'm Regina Manyara. My colleague has been none other than Lensa Odingo. Have a pleasant evening ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape
your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning.